Hello, friends. Much love, respect, and appreciation. And here we have another live stream today. So, again, much love and respect to anybody that's going to just find this live stream or happen to replay it or who are just coming in at this moment in time. And yes, we are currently going to talk about the very first topic, which is the couple that you see here, which I'm pretty sure that many of you were able to hear about online. So, let's get directly into it. The first article said that Burke County authorities are promising to keep the community informed on developments surrounding the tragic incident of a local father early Sunday morning. The incident, which took place in the 800 block of 4 Point Road near Waynesboro, is under investigation by the Burke County Sheriff's Office. At approximately 5:54 a.m. on Sunday, deputies responded to reports of an incident and arrived to find 30-year-old Telvin Telbo Rackens Osborne in the master bedroom, suffering from one single wound to the chest. He was later pronounced deceased at the hospital. Osborne's living girlfriend and the mother of his two children, 28-year-old Hannah Cobb, is cooperating with investigators, according to the sheriff's department. The sheriff's office also stated that they are committed to keeping the public informed as the investigation unfolds, while maintaining respect for the families involved. However, the case has gained significant attention online. News of Osborne's deceasement has sparked viral posts, particularly one from his brother, Roderick Osborne Williams, who shared his thoughts on Facebook. The post, which has garnered nearly 400 shares and over 150 comments, alleges that Cobb took the life of Osborne after a night out at the club. Williams claimed that Cobb told authorities that she had been cleaning a weapon when it discharged, resulting in the fatal wounding. He further expressed frustration that Cobb had not been arrested, suggesting racial bias in the handling of the case. Quote, "It sounds like a racist move," Williams wrote. "Anybody out there knows something doesn't sound right about that." The sheriff's office has yet to comment on this viral post and the allegations. So let me see. They also have a post. Deputies contacted, cooperating, right? So then we're going to go to the next article. They said new details and neighbors' reactions after arrest in Burke County's fatal incident. Shortly before 6 a.m. on Sunday, Burke County deputies were called to a home at 4 Points Road. At a scene, 38-year-old Telvin Osborne was found on the floor unresponsive with one wound to the chest. Now, 25-year-old Hannah Grace Cobb has been arrested for his deceasement. Cobb was taken into custody for a felony charge of involuntary manslaughter on Tuesday. Fox later spoke with lead investigators who stated that Cobb and Osborne, of course, are in a relationship and have two children together. Officials state that both Cobb and Osborne have been drinking and got into a fight right before the incident. Quote, "It is reckless to go out and get drunk and then introduce a firearm into an argument. It is reckless to engage in an argument where there's pushing and shoving going on." That was stated by Sheriff Alonzo Williams of Burke County. Cobb maintains that she is innocent. She states that the gun was fired accidentally as she was checking it, something she claims they do every night. The sheriff's office is also investigating that narrative as well. Quote, "At no point during the investigation was there any information about the person cleaning a weapon. I know that has been some of the misinformation reported. It's crucial to know that the investigation has not been classified as accidental." Many neighbors that were spoken to have children who play with Cobb and Osborne's kids and were shocked to hear the news. Lee Roberts met with a couple of the people and they stated this, quote, "We didn't know what was going on, and it was all so shocking, scary, because they seemed like a nice couple." Another person, "You never know what really goes on behind closed door, what's in somebody's head. You know, it don't take but a split wrong decision for a life to turn upside down." The sheriff's office stated that they talk to the family and friends to learn more about the relationship and are currently working to gather more information. Quote, we have currently some search warrants active. We were waiting for phone records and other information that may be found. Cobb is currently being held in Burke County Detention Center without bond. So we got that right. Everybody was pretty much able to hear all of that, good stuff, right? So I'm going to just preface this before I get into anything. My condolences to the friends and the families who knew the young man. My condolences. Right? Things like this should never have happened at any point in time that people feel that they're in a heated moment, heated argument. People should just split apart, right? The guy should go take a drive. Maybe if you're so angry, go get a hotel room somewhere, right? And the woman, stays directly home because she, the kids and everything are there, right? Just do that, split apart. And I've stated that a multitude of times to a lot of individuals, right? And I also state that from personal experience of being angry. And it's like, hey, I'm about to just sit up there and walk. I'm about to just sit up there and play the game. I'm going to eat some food. I'm about to, call up, my friends are going to play some basketball. We want to do this. Anything but stay directly, in that exact same moment. Right. So again, condolences to the family and the neighborhood and, and all of that. My issue is this, right? I've always told people for the longest time, and this is not my first time going over stories like this, where you have a black man here in an interracial relationship, and a life is taken, and obviously it's going to be the black man whose life is taken. I've told people before that be very careful, be very cautious about who it is that you decide to date, who it is that you are around, the life choices that you happen to make, because you're going to have to live by those choices. What even more puts a stamp directly on that is the fact that in a lot of these incidences of the stories that I've covered, I can go online and find that somehow, some way, that the black male that is in a interracial relationship goes out of his way to decide to say something negative about black women. And you can clearly see that at the bottom of the screen, right? He said, basically paraphrasing, I would rather be with a dog before I would be with a black woman, but it has to be a white dog, though. So when I see things like that, it's very difficult to automatically go the sympathy route. It's very tough for me to do this because I've covered this for so many years, and I've said the exact same thing time and time again. I've seen black American men say stuff like this. I've seen African men say stuff like this. And I'm like, you gotta be like, this is not the way. And I keep trying to tell people, like, yo, you're not gonna hear my mouth until I see something that I don't like. Up until I read something that shouldn't have been written. And this is when I commonly tell people, like, hey, you gotta live by the decisions that you just so happen to make. Be careful of the words that you just so happen to say. If you want to sit up there and do this interracial thing, leave black people out of the conversation. I don't care if you're a black woman saying stuff. I don't care if you're a black man saying stuff. Go out there and live your best life. We don't realistically care up until you put us on notice that you want us to care. Then you want to sit up there and start hearing stuff. This young man here decided to put everybody on notice before this incident happened. And now we got this incident. So it's like, again, my condolences to the family, my condolences to the friends, my condolences to the neighbors. But also at the same time, a lot of people got to understand that you're going to have people out here not really feeling sympathetic for this young man because he decided to say something that he didn't need to sit up there and say. He can be with the white girl all he wants to. You can do whatever it is that you want to do, whatever's going to sit up there and make you happy on your side of the town, on your side of the world, all of that. But for you to sit up there and say something like this, and now we got this instance, and now you got the family out here seeking justice. You know how hard it's going to be for your family to try to pull together people to be sympathetic when you decided to say this before before all this. Come on, man. Come on. That's crazy. That's 100% crazy. Like I said, this is why I keep trying to tell a lot of guys out here, like, yo, stop doing this. Stop doing this. Like I said, what was the African dude? He was with the OF model, and her father, I think, was a cop. And then I also just learned supposedly that her father is also a cop. What is wrong? Like, brother. So, like, what are y'all doing out here? What are y'all doing? Yo, and main thing I would always say for these videos, I'm like, yo, for a lot of the black guys out here, I need y'all to realize this could very easily be you at any point given in time. And I keep trying to tell people, don't think because this happened to somebody that it ain't gonna happen to you. Don't think that it's all sweet out here. Do not think that it's all sweet out here. Because the moment in time that they know that you slipping, they gonna catch you slip, and it's done. It's nothing you can do. You done sat up there and had kids with this woman. So whatever money that you got, guess what? It's going to those kids and her. It ain't going to your family. So whatever money that he did have, chances are, ain't nothing going to them. Any prized possessions, none of that. And chances are very great. She already got an excuse. She was like, "Oh, it just went off because I was cleaning it." Word, ma'am. We got you right here. Probably the night before or the during the extent, because you came in at like what 5 a.m. in the morning that they said or whatever it was, and then magically y'all had an argument. Firstly, why was you even out there at five anything? Why was you even out past 12 realistically? And I get that some people like to sit up there and say, like, oh, but she's a grown woman. Why are you guys trying to treat women as First of all, let me just make something very clear. I don't care how sexist or whatever the wording would be. If you are with me, if I'm in a house, you in a house. I'm just going to be 100% real. There is no reason for you as a woman to be out at 12 something, past 12 something at night. Realistically, you should be in by like 10 or 11. I'm just going to be real. I don't care how that sounds, because at the end of the day, as a man, I know that once you start going past like certain hours, you start having certain types of people show up. And those are the types of people that you do not want to be around. And then when you start adding alcohol and you start adding ego, you start adding pride, you start adding people talking all types of stuff. Oh, it's a recipe for chaos. Somebody's life is gone. So, like I said before, and trust me, I got a whole bunch of videos loaded in the clip to showcase women out here, past times that realistically they shouldn't even be out. And I'm looking at those women fighting. I'm looking at them sitting up there and inhaling all types of narcotics, and they sitting up there rah rah rah, and they punching down and they pulling weave and all. Like I said, I got a whole bunch, just in case people want to sit up there and think I'm being some type of what is it? What would it be, like chauvinist or something like that? Yeah, like I said, I don't got no time for that. Like I said, if you want to be a woman and you want to be out there engaging in your life, you want to be out there at like 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, go right ahead. And then when something happens, I'm going to be right here probably doing the story, and I'm not going to have no sympathy, because you should not have been outside. You should have kept your ass inside the house where it's safe. But like I said, nobody wants to sit up there and listen. But again, what was Hannah Montana doing outside at night? There's nothing else out there. There's nothing out there but like people trying to do stuff they shouldn't be doing. And again, people doing stuff that they shouldn't be doing. So what were you out there doing? And then you decided to come in, and while he's at home with the kids, you out there clubbing and drinking and doing all types of narcotics. And then magically, y'all getting into an argument, rightfully so, because you should not have been outside. And then you decide that you just want to take him out. That's what it sounds like happened. You didn't like the fact that he was trying to tell you what to do. You didn't like the fact that he was trying to show quote unquote authority over you, because you felt that you could do whatever it is that you want to sit up there and do because you're young, white, free, and 21. And you're like, well, I'm not about to sit up there and allow, and I'm paraphrasing, no black man to sit up there and tell me what to do. And then she decided to deliver the Alec Baldwin justice. That's it. That's all that happened. That's all that happened. That's all that happened. It's crazy work. It is crazy, crazy work. So, like I said, when I go online and I happen to see black women saying a whole bunch of stuff about this dude, I'm not even mad, because I done told y'all on this platform for so many years, stop opening your mouth and saying stuff that you don't need to sit up there and say, because the moment in time that your life is now gone, guess who your family's going to need in order to help, bring awareness and get justice? They're going to need black women. They're going to need people from the black community. And then the moment in time that people see stuff like this, guess what? People are not going to be so sympathetic. People are not going to have that energy that you feel that they should have. And I get that a lot of people are going to be like, well, it is bad what he said, but we shouldn't bring that into the situation because two wrongs don't make a right. Don't nobody got time for that. I'm just gonna be real. We're living in the real world. We're living with people who got emotions, and a lot of times emotions are going to override the logic. So at this moment in time, you're going to see fields of black women. If you happen to go under post and see, you'll see some black women are like, "Yo, this is wrong. She needs to be in jail." Da da da. Right? They're void of the emotion part, and they're just looking at the logical facts. Right? They're foregoing what it is that they were able to read, and I'm like, okay, I dislike what he wrote. That was his opinion, but at the end of the day, this woman needs to be behind bars because she took a life unnecessarily when her life was not in danger. She didn't need to defend herself and all this other type of stuff. But then you have the other fields of black women who are not going to be on that exact same path. They're going to sit up there and say that he deserved it. They're going to say that he brought it upon himself. They're going to say, well, this is what happens. They're going to say, well, what do you want from the store? Right? You're going to see a lot of these things taking place. And like I said, there's nothing I can defend here. There's nothing that I can sit up there and defend here, nor would I go online and try to correct any of those black women from feeling the way that they feel. I am not. And I know you're going to have some women up there that are more than likely divestors, but it is what it is. It makes no sense for me to try to go directly into that fray to try to defend words like that. And that's some crazy work to say something like that about women of your own community. That's some crazy work. Crazy work. But, like I said before, a lot of people are going to find out when they are meant to find out. And again, my condolences to the family, to the friends, the co-workers, and the other people. My condolences, especially to the kids, because now they're going to be without a father. They are going to be without a father, but the side of her family doesn't care about that because they're like, we're going to just raise them to be like us. No matter what color combination they have, we're going to raise them with our mentality, with our teachings, with all of that. So like I said before, for a lot of the black men out there, I want y'all to realize that if they have no purpose or no use directly for you, they will get rid of you. Once everything is said and done, once you have served your purpose and you've helped them create something that is going to give them longevity further on this plane of existence, your purpose is now done. Now you're living on borrowed time. Case in point, this story. Just saying. Just saying. Like this is some crazy work directly out here, man. This is 100% crazy work, man. So like I said to the other brothers directly out here, like, yo, be careful. Be very careful. Be very mindful of your mouth. Like I said, I'm not going to sit up there and try to fight you over. Say whatever it is that you want to say. Just know that the moment in time that you keep layering on and saying stuff, you're living on borrowed time because it's only a matter of time. And I've continuously done these stories over the years to try to give warnings to a lot of y'all out here, to try to give warnings to some of your sons out here and everything else. But y'all don't want to listen. And the only time that y'all seem to pay attention is when y'all face up. That's it. That's it. So we're going to carry on to the next few videos that I actually got directly for you guys. And I want to get you guys' opinions. Technically, we're running on the same theme that we have at this moment in time. So let me just get y'all with this video.
Get that red. When where'd that car get that red? When my people the other day, they look like the same car you viral on Facebook for that shit. I'm gonna let you know you better watch your I'll be the one to slap the fuck out you. Don't disrespect my people. Don't let Trump have you up, cause I slap the out you. Nah, you look like the who was on Facebook calling my folks. I slap you. They look like you.
So let me just replay that because I know it kind of happened a little bit quick, but let me just play it one more time so y'all can hear it.
Car get that red. Where'd that car get that red? When my people the other day, they look like the same car you viral on Facebook for that shit. I'm gonna let you know you better watch your I'll be the one to slap the fuck out you. Don't disrespect my people. Don't let Trump have you up, cause I slap the out you. Nah, you look like the nigga who was on Facebook calling my folks. I slap you. That look like you.
All right, so we were able to hear that. Hold on, what you say? Hold on, let me just go back. Hold on. So Unfo said, so you said the first video was messed up, but we can leave skin pigment out of it. No. That's not how that works. That's like I said before, I really hate is too much of a strong word. I really dislike when people decide that they want to try to tell other people out there to leave skin pigmentation out of this. That's not how America was formed. That's not how it was created. That's like literally color is a part of the fabric. Remember red, white, and blue? It aren't those colors? So you can't say America without colors. Let's just get that straight. United States of America, red, white, and blue. Star Spangled Banner. Like, look, where are we at right now? Like, am I living in an alternative universe where everybody is clear? I'm a little bit confused. I'm confused. Hold on. You said if you try to assault someone over calling a mean name, you were never meant to be an narcissist. First of all, you sound a little bit white to me. You sound a little bit too white. A little bit too white. I'm not believing that you're black. You're more than likely you're white or somebody that is non-black. You're going to sit up here and roll up here and say a mean name. How old are you? Are you like 65 or 70? You more than likely saw like the civil rights era or probably walked with Moses. Either which way, you done seen some type of form of slavery, some type of trade going on, some type of racism, bigotry, or discrimination. But yet you want to overlook that because more than likely it didn't hit you directly in the face or the gut. Or you weren't sprayed down with your people with water hoses and chased by dogs. And you got the nerve to sit up there and try to tell me as a black American, oh, we need to sit up there and leave color directly out of this. When one of the main stories that I listed was an African man who was with a white girl that is an OF model. And her father is a cop. She took the life on camera. She took the life. That white woman took the life of that African man. And it was getting covered up because her father is what, a cop. And he's white. Birds of a feather, especially a white feather, flock together. But yet here we are. That's good. I'm so happy that you're proud to be white. There is no problem with that. But also within that, I know that you're racist. I know that your lineage is racist. I know it's within your bloodline. So thank you for further proving me on my point when I stated that you are either sounding white or you are non-black. I was correct. I was 100% correct. I've been doing this for so long. I've been doing this for so long. It is beautiful. Hold on. You was like, black people sold you into other nations. Okay. But we're not talking about that. Ain't that something? You know, the funniest thing is I love the context when white people always bring this up about slavery. They'll be like, well, your people sold you. Who told you to buy them? How about that one? Genius. Who told you to sit up there and buy them? That's like sitting up there saying like you saw your friends do crack and you decide that you want to sit up there and do it too. Huh? Who told you to do that? Nobody told you to do that. You decided to take part in that because everybody else is doing it. So you mean to sit up there and tell me that you guys are supposed to be the model citizens? You're supposed to be the masters of the universe. All of these guys directly out here. But even though you got all of this power, you follow another group of people who you consider to be lower than you. That doesn't make any type of sense. I've never seen gods follow humans. It's usually humans will follow gods. But here you are, sitting up there stating that, oh, well, Africans sat up there and sold you, and we just decided to take part. So the gods followed the humans. That's a little bit interesting. That doesn't seem like a god to me. Doesn't seem like an actual ruler to me. Doesn't sound very smart. That doesn't sound like something a human being would actually do. Right? That's like you sitting up there witnessing a crime in your community happening. You're like, well, if this white man sat up there and did this to this other white man, I'm going to sit up there and do the exact same thing. But we all know you're not going to do that because you value your reflection. You value yourself. So you're not going to do anything to realistically harm you. But anything that is outside of you, you're completely fine and dandy. You're going to do that. You're going to make sure to do that, just like you've done that for the longevity of this country. Right? You guys wanted to do slavery. You guys wanted to exterminate. You guys wanted to do biological and chemical warfare. You wanted to do medical warfare as well. right? You guys wanted to pay out reparations and divvy that out to everybody else, including immigrants coming over from Europe, but you didn't want to give nothing back to the Black Americans who built this country, right? You guys would rather do everything else but the right thing. Crazy. It's crazy work. I really feel like that man just got thrown into the Bermuda Triangle. Oh, wait, no. I thought it happened. We got you said why did I block you? It's crazy work. I didn't actually do anything. Like I said, I'm actually hands free at this moment in time. But I have very great and wonderful moderators who happen to see trolls a mile away. I got some snipers in the background. I got some people with trench coats just sitting in the cut with a cigarette. So if you decide that you want to roll up here and be stupid while I'm focused and explaining stuff, that is directly on you. Like I said, you're grown. You can freely say, technically to an extent, you can say whatever it is that you want to say. But again, like I told y'all before, and I keep trying to give out these warnings, you want to sit up there and roll up there and be stupid and not pay attention, that is directly on you at the end of the day. And a lot of the times, it's a lot of y'all white guys that want to roll up here and be stupid. And then second, it will be Hispanics. Then third, it will be Asians. So all three of you technically white individuals want to roll up here and y'all want to start saying stuff when there's no reason for y'all to even really speak at this moment. I literally just gave a video of a true American male in his nice classic car deciding that he saw a Black woman sitting in her car and he wanted to start calling her racial slurs. And then you want to come out of your mouth and try to tell me that, oh, let's leave race directly out of it. Oh, you want to sit up there and be a big bad man by sitting up there, cussing at somebody else because they called you a mean name. You don't need to be in our society. I need you to shut up, Dan. I need you to just shut up. Like, realistically. Because it's crazy to me that out of all of the things that you guys want to talk about, you never actually talk about your own communities, statistically speaking, right? How specifically men in your community are the ones that do the most horrendous acts towards children and families. Don't want to talk about that, right? Don't want to talk about the fact of how many lives in your community are lost by way of police. Don't want to sit up there and talk about that. Don't want to talk about the fact of all of these zombie cities around the United States that primarily have your color, white, that are just sitting on the corners, strung out, kids directly in the strollers, probably getting strung out by contact. Don't want to sit up there and talk about that though, right? You don't want to talk about the type of let's see, how can I put this? Forceful culture that your men in your community like to do in colleges. And I've covered that as well. How it is that you guys will go after your women and do all of these horrendous, atrocious things directly to them. And then you walk away scot-free. Like, what was that Olympic swimmer that was sitting up there doing stuff? And it was, it was information out there that he did it, but the judge was like, you know what? I'm not going to put you behind bars because I don't want to ruin your life. Woo! And you say don't bring color into it, but that was a white judge that told that to a white boy who actually committed diabolical work. Matter of fact, how about the fact that when I cover stories, right, about the men in your community that go after, the families in your community, why is it that I see them get 1 strike, 2 strike, 3 strikes, technically almost 4 strikes? You have judges out here that sit directly on the bench that are supposed to protect your families, but they're not doing anything but protecting their own best interest and the ones that commit the crimes that enable them to sit up there and get paid. So that goes with lawyers, both the defense and the DA. That goes with the judge. That goes with the cops. That also goes with the men of your community that are committing those acts against those families. But yet you don't want to speak on that. But y'all make sure to always pull up every single time when Seiji is up here talking about things going on in America and the things that your people just so happen to commit. It's amazing how you guys always want to try to switch topics or move the goalposts. You can never actually stay on topic. And then you guys always want to roll up here and y'all want to try to tell me like, oh, I'm gonna tell you the truth about yourself and about your people. I'm gonna list all of these stats and we're gonna put all this information. Let's see if you can sit up there and deal with all it. No. Let's see if you can actually deal with the fact that your people are the ones tearing apart this country. And it's always been that way. By way of chemical warfare, by way of crime, by way of drugs, by way of guns, by, other forces that they decide to work with. Uh-oh, Keith was like, I thought this was the Al Sharpton channel. Well, I don't know. It might be the BBC channel, but it might not be the Al Sharpton channel. Your wife knows about it, though. Or your mom or your grandma or your daughter. I don't know. One of them. You'll figure it out, though. But anyways, like I said before, the craziest thing is you guys will decide, hey, are we still in Black History? I think at this, yeah, we're still in National Black History Month. That is crazy work. Like I said, y'all could be anywhere else in the world, but this is where it is that you want to be. Oh, somebody caught that? Yeah, it'd be like that. Let me tell you. What was that? I'm a little bit confused. You said you guys. I don't even know what you're saying. You said we house Black college students for free as they were to school. We aren't all bad. We aren't all white devils, regardless of what you may think. Okay. And as you should. What you want me to say? Give you a thank you? As you should. As you should. You Jeeper. What do you want me to sit up there and tell you? You want me to sit up there and give you a hand clap or something? This is something that you should be doing. Out of all of the things that your people, again, so that's great, right? You wanted to separate yourself from everybody else, right? No problem. That's cool. You said that you're different and some people that's great. But just imagine this though, right? Imagine you're some type of like non-lethal snake, right? But yet your colors match up with other poisonous snakes. So you got like the good 5 to 10 of y'all that are not poisonous, right? No problem. But behind you or amongst you, there are thousands that are poisonous, but also match up with the exact same color that you have. How am I supposed to sit up there and know which one is not going to kill me versus the other? I don't. I'm not going to sit up there and stand there and be like, oh yeah, Jeeper, he's not going to sit up there and harm me. Let me just stand here with my hands up. He got me. Hug me, buddy. Hold me down. No, that's not what we're running. We're getting up out of here. We're getting out of Dodge. I'm not about to be sitting up there waiting, but like I said before, at a moment in time, given the history in the United States, this is something that you should be doing. This is not some type of clap or thank you moment. Like, what? Like I said, being Black is a thankless job. We done set up there and done everything from top to bottom to help out everybody else. And in return, pretty much get nothing. Case in point, look at these comments that I happen to get every single time I happen to go live, where people want to say rah, 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 and all this other stuff, like crazy stuff. Like I said, it's thankless. Like I said, if just to be real, if Black people wasn't here, y'all be bored. I'm just gonna be real. Y'all would not know what to do with yourselves. Y'all would just be bored out of your mind. Like, I'm just gonna be real. Black people are some of the greatest creations here because it keeps everybody entertained. Just to be real. That's the best way I can sit up there. That's the best way I can sit up there and put it. Like, you said, imagine walking down the street in an urban neighborhood and know that every Black guy wants to hurt you. Oh, word? That's how you feel? Guess what? I'm from Detroit, from the West Side. What you saying? What you trying to tell me? what you trying to tell me? Detroit born and raised. What tell me something that I have never heard before. Tell me something I've never heard before. From Detroit, born and raised from the West Side, went to both public and private schools in Detroit. What you telling me? You're not telling me nothing. You talking about that's real? Nah, like, dude, like, what are you talking about? You make it seem like as soon as you go into a Black area, everybody is just after you. No, you could probably sit up there and go to some of the hoods over there in California wearing the wrong colors, and they sit up there and see you, and they be like, before we even get into anything, yo, we going to just get on up out of here. You're wearing the wrong colors. Get on up out of here. Get on out. You could probably sit up there and go to a variety of different areas that I can't even sit up there and go to being a Black man. But you got the nerve to come up on here and try to tell me that you're fearful of your life because if you go to a black community, everybody's staring at you like they want to take your life. Word? Really? This is what wanting to be a victim looks like. This is what wanting to be a victim looks like, where you have to just throw this imaginary theory of black people directly out here wanting to hurt you. That's the craziest thing. You can't even point to hundreds of years of history of black people literally doing this to y'all in the United States. You can't even do that. I can sit up there and point to you some books of where y'all were sitting up there doing it and how y'all treated the slaves. It's crazy work. Crazy work. I'll never come back to this channel. You are a victim. Hold on, brother. Let me highlight you real quick. Oh, the racism started coming out with the good old Jasper. Let me hold on. Look at this. Hold on. So hold on. So read Jasper here, guys. Jasper said, and I quote, imagine walking down the street in an urban neighborhood and know that every black guy wants to hurt you. Question mark, right? So this is his story. This is his life, right? No matter where he went, no matter what black area he went to, every black guy wanted to hurt him, right? So notice he's a victim, correct? So in return, he later on states, I'll never come back to this channel. You are a victim. Brother, what are you talking about? I can list historical facts. That's not being a victim. That's being historically accurate. You, my guy, are the one being a victim. You're making up this imaginary tale as if you're just riding down the hood right now and it's just black guys just aiming at you. We're just coming directly at your car. We're trying to steal the hood caps. We're trying to steal the windows, the doors. And then lastly, we're going to sit up there and steal your life. Word? And you got the nerve to sit up there and try to say that I'm a victim. I don't care if you never come here. I mean, before you go though, hit that dislike button, but also call forth, all of your friends, your family, whatever God that you believe in, let them come here. Bring us the views. Bring us the views. Bring us that. Right? That's at least the good that you can do. It's amazing how you went from we held down black people in colleges and to now, man, every time I go to a black hood, these black guys, they always want to sit up there and try to take my life to, you guys always want to be victims. Wow, you went from 0 to 100 real quick, huh? And then you wanted to sit up there and say that we're good at stealing? Word, brother? That's crazy. I love you guys. That is crazy. He was like, you're good at robbing. Look at that. That's beautiful. Oh boy. You guys are such entertainers. By golly gosh. But yes, shout out and much love. Jeeper was like, so shout out to anybody that's watching this live stream. This is what we get here, guys. When people don't like the commentary, when people don't like the comments or anything like that, people want to sit up there and go on and make false reports directly on channels. This is how they try to get black channels taken out. So I just want everybody to see this, right? This is me minding my business on my own channel speaking. Now, again, I didn't have to get into conversation at all. And also anything that I stated was not racist or anything like that. It was factual. I could pull up books. I could also pull up the FBI stats, which I've done many a times in live streams and videos and shorts. But for whatever reason, good old Jeeper here, 1969. So you know what he's about. He wants to sit up there and report a black channel. Look at this. And then he had the nerve to sit up there and say that all people that are white are not the same. But yet you just, in a sense, prove me correct. That's crazy. That's diabolical. Crazy work. But you decided to be here, though. So like I said, to anybody that likes to donate to the platform and the channel, much love, respect, and appreciation. I wouldn't be able to do the things that I do without people like you, because obviously you got people like Jeeper that want to take down a lot of black channels. So to anybody else that's in the background that is Caucasian and you decide to sit up there and speak, more than likely I'm going to liken you to Jeeper up until any further notice, because obviously I can't trust anybody. can't trust anybody at all. This is what happens to me. And again, for the white folks out there, I've literally given you guys stats and stories about your own community, trying to educate you on stuff that takes place. But do you think that somebody like Jeepers wants to hear that? Do you think that he wants you guys to be informed or knowledgeable about any of the things or people that should be arrested that aren't? Or how it is that your system is screwing you over and enabling theft by way of government? Nah. He don't want that to happen. He don't want that to happen. That's crazy. That's diabolical though. It's crazy though. It's crazy work. Crazy work. But here we are. But anyways, like I said before, for the black woman out there, this is just a key example of the guys out there that decide that when they see you by yourself, this is how they're going to act. So guys like Jeeper are pretty much like guys in this orange vehicle right here. They will pull up to the scene when they see you alone, and they'll start using all of these racial slurs, knowing that they're not going to get, all of that aggression that they would normally get from a guy, right? So then when we actually go to a black man that confronted him, and I want to note that the black man was completely fine and dandy, right? He didn't get out the car. He didn't sit up there and do anything violent. He gave that man words. He let him know, like, yo, if I catch you doing something like this again at any point in time, I got you. That's all he said. I think that that's actually pretty fair, right? So the white guy in this orange vehicle that was racist towards the black woman, right? He didn't get out of the car. He didn't, do anything too much extra. It was pretty much just words, right? An exchange of words. So a black man decided to exchange words. But I want y'all to understand that when the black man rode up to the scene, that the same guy in this vehicle did not have that same energy. Matter of fact, let me play that out of respect for Jeeper. I gotta go back to his ancestor. Gotta play that again. Let me just do that.
Where'd that car get that at? Where'd that car get that at? When my people the other day, they look like the same car you viral on Facebook for that shit. I'm gonna let you know you better watch your I'll be the one to slap the fuck out you. Don't disrespect my people. Don't let Trump have you up, because I slap the fuck out you. Nah.
So let me go back to that, right? So when the black man gave that warning, you see the dude's hand in the car. He has his hand up. He was like, "No, it's okay. I don't want no problems. I apologize." That's what that means. When the hand is basically going up, and you hear the tone of his voice as low as possible, he knows he messed up. Because the same energy that he had with that black woman, he was not going to have that with that man. He had all the time in the world to literally have that same anger and energy. But when he knew that there was a black man out there that can do more than match his energy, he's like, "Oh, he couldn't even get his words straight. He couldn't even speak English. He couldn't even speak English. He didn't even know what to even. He just really stayed silent and he just kept driving because he knew. He already knew exactly what it was, and I'm pretty sure his heart was pounding. He probably needs to take some heart medication. His stress levels were directly through the roof. He didn't know what was going to happen. Like I said before, this is what happens when you confront people. And this is one-on-one. This is one-on-one. This is mano a mano, man to man. And notice how the energy shifted. And this is how a lot of them are. They will be so big and bad and brave when it deals with black women, but they will not have that energy by themselves. And when there's a black man that is willing and ready to match any and all energy that you want to give. But then we got people rolling up to the set talking about let's not bring color into this, guys. It's not about color, guys. It's not about color. Let's leave it out of there, guys. It's not about color. It's crazy work out here. It's crazy work. I want to give a shout out to relevant love, much love, respect, and appreciation for the $10 donor. I think that's actually a super sticker. I'm sorry that we can't actually see the super sticker right now because I'm using StreamYard. So my apologies, but much love, respect, and appreciation for the $10 dono to the channel. Much love, much love. But yes, it's completely crazy directly out here. Completely crazy, right? So let's go. Pretty much staying within the exact same vein. Let's go to another video. This is a little bit of a longer one.
Can you please go around?
No, I'm not.
Difficult.
You go ahead and get the things for you. I can wait. You said you're going to stop and get some for your children. Go ahead.
I will once you go around me.
No.
You're being difficult.
Am I?
You are.
Okay.
I will stand here all day, honey. I ain't got time for your bullshit.
You don't have time, but you can stand here all day.
I said I ain't got time for your
Oh,
bullshit. There's
okay.
a difference.
Cool.
Please go around.
I mean, I have nothing else to do today, so.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. It's pathetic.
We can't have a standoff like right here. This is like blocking my main
And I
walkway.
pulled to the side and she stood right here, right in front of me, blocking me. So with
what's
my
the,
children.
What's the issue right now?
She won't go around.
I was literally
kindly
going to go
pulled
around,
the
and then she
side.
started all
No,
that.
I kindly pulled to the side, pulled my child aside so she could go around, being polite, and she won't move or anything.
She said she would get something for her children.
And why can't she go that way?
We can't. We're
Why
adults.
can't?
We
Why? Is it because I'm
compromise.
white? Is it because I'm white?
Oh.
Yeah,
Like,
because
this
I'm
has
white.
to do
Cool,
with being
cool.
an adult.
No,
Like
no,
your
no,
children
it's
are
fine.
right here.
Yeah.
Like,
So why can't she go around?
Because literally either one of y'all can go around the other. I'm not saying it
Yes.
specifically,
I like to
but
report a hate crime. I have
like,
two black
what-
women sitting here.
this you hear
yelling
this?
at
Make
me.
sure you record.
Yeah, I am recording it. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and I had one recording me after she wouldn't go around, and she's causing an issue right in front of my children.
So let me just replay that real quick. Hold on, let me. And this is not. And I want to know, this is a black woman and a white woman, right? And she decided to pull this.
Wow.
Let me just pull that back.
Specifically,
I like to
but
report a hate crime. I have
like,
two black
what-
women.
She wants to report a hate
you hear
crime.
this? Make sure you
Yeah.
record.
Yeah, I am recording it. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and I had one recording me after she wouldn't go around, and she's causing an issue right in front of my children. Okay.
Yeah, that's crazy.
They'll be here in 10 minutes.
That's fun. That is so ridiculous.
I ain't never seen this.
Okay, cool.
Then your cameras will see that she won't move.
That's never happened to me before.
And
That's
by the way, if you
wild.
post me on social media, by the way, I can't when she's standing right there. By the way, if you post me on social media, I will take you to court because I don't give you my
Okay.
permission.
Do you know my name?
I don't give you my permission. I'm trying to leave, but y'all are being rude. And she won't let me. And if you post me on social media, I don't give you my permission. to
Lord,
post me
you're
on
a
social
bad
media.
mother.
Honey, you're a bad.
Ooh, am I?
You are, and I'm
Ooh,
a bad mother. I'm a
am
great
I?
mother. I'm a great mother.
Well, okay.
And if
Acting
you
like
post me-
that.
No, you
No,
wouldn't go around
acting
me.
like that.
You wouldn't let. You literally blocked me with my.
And you
kids.
still, that was so easy, wasn't it? Going around, wasn't it?
You wouldn't go around. How easy is that? And if you
Girl.
post me on social media,
Toward the right
Honey,
people
if you
come
post
in,
me,
toward the left they
bitch.
leave out.
if you post
That's
me on
a,
social
wow,
media,
I'm a,
yes, you are.
and
If
I
you
just
post me-
might.
If you post me
I
on
just
social
might.
media- No, if you post me on social
You
media,
called the
I'll take
police
you
for
to
no
court.
reason, Goofy.
If you no,
Bye,
you're
booby.
goofy. Bye.
Bye, baby girl.
Bye.
Please.
Bye, bitch.
Have a great day.
Honey, go to hell where you belong. Go to hell where you belong.
Oh my God. That's hilarious.
Say that you.
What? What was that?
You're a God, but clearly you're not because you won't
What?
go around.
But you're leaving.
No, because you blocked me.
And you try to call it a hate crime. That's crazy. With your two babies. That's a shame. That is a shame. You should be really, 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 really embarrassed. You make yourself look real stupid in front of your babies. That's a shame. And they recording, you're gonna get trespassed, sweetheart.
Right in front of me and wouldn't let me leave.
That's crazy.
See, now she's talking about me being white, so.
Who is that you? You said it was a hate crime, didn't you?
That's crazy.
You said it was a hate crime.
If you post me,
Goofy?
I'll take you to court.
Please. Please do. Wow.
I've never in my life seen and I've covered a lot of videos. I've never in my life seen a video where a black woman had the police called on her and a white woman accused her of a hate crime. I've never in my life. Like I said, whenever I think that white people have done something, they top it. Every single they top it every single. That's crazy work. That is crazy work. Somebody said, which state is this? I have not a clue. Couldn't even tell you. It was a random video directly online. Can't even tell you. But that's some crazy work though. That's some crazy work to sit up there and do. So at this moment in time, I'm just going to put a warning out there to Black Americans. At any point in time, anybody could get it. and it don't matter if you're a black male, black female, anybody could happen to get called the police, and they could just randomly state that you committed a hate crime against them. I don't know if the police are going to follow up. Don't know if the police are going to do anything. But for the most part, that they have the ability to, in a sense, feel so emboldened to be like, you know what, I'm about to call the boys real quick. I'm not about to deal with this. You're getting on my nerves. You're not doing what I tell you to sit up there and do. All you have to do is sit up there and get up out of my way. Just sit up there and move. I'm calling the police. And I want to note that we're talking about, this is what, 5 and below. So the aisles are decently sized. At any moment in time, the lady could have just moved or whatever. Could have just did that. Could have just did it. But she didn't want to do it because she felt like she was in the right when she was wrong the whole time. Because I promise you, she more than likely had a terrible attitude. I can more than likely promise you that probably before the black woman was recording, she probably said some other things as well too. This is why she ended up recording. This is crazy. And this also goes to show how a lot of kids out here learn a type of mentality directly from their parents. Everything that mother did was incorrect. You misusing the police, you deciding that a hate crime took place when it didn't, and then you wanted to try to turn around and play victim before you walked out the door. She was like, oh, she's talking about, I'm white. What does that even mean? You just literally said, in order for it to be a hate crime, there has to be something there. And usually when it deals with a hate crime is because of somebody's race or religion or sexuality. In this instance, we're dealing with race. So you, as a white Caucasian European woman, on the other side, you have a black American woman. It's not that difficult to figure out why anybody would basically say anything about race when she's the first one. The white woman was literally the first one to start talking about race because she said it was a hate crime. Crazy. It's crazy work. Crazy work. Ronan said, can he defend this? Probably not. He's probably gone. He might have got thrown into the Bermuda Triangle. He probably reported the page. Hopefully he blocked himself as well. He probably didn't though. I can promise you that. Promise you that. Oh, Miss Hill, what is up? What's up? You said Mr. Seji, how they say the truth hurts. Your words of truth hurt him, so he thought he was throwing damaging words. I guess so. I guess so. I guess so. It's we got Officer Haku in the building, aka Brady B World, with the $2 donos to the channel. Much love, respect, and appreciation. This man said, "Jeeper sister, LOL." That's bars. That probably is a sister. And the grandfather was probably in that orange car. Like I said, birds of a feather flock together. It'd be like that. Shout out to America. But now we're gonna go to something a little bit different here. Let me just put this up.
Homeland Security just step up their game. So if you have an I-10 number, you need to listen up. Department of Homeland Security just asked the IRS to deputize their agents. Okay, what that means is that they have resources that they can use. They are now using the IRS to come after people who are, one, undocumented, and two, who are illegal. The common argument with illegals is that I come here, I work, I pay taxes, but you forgot the one principal key element is that you came here illegally. Now, Department of Homeland Security is taking it a step further by going into your IRS records, and they are going to go find you that way. So if you have an I-10 number, meaning you have an individual tax identification number, they will go on there. They will search all your business records, and they will probably, one, seize it, two, deport you, whatever the case may be. You are being hunted down. Please note that that is not going to save you. Just because you pay taxes means absolutely nothing. Again, you came here illegally, so that means you are being deported, and they are going to find you.
Well. Well, I just want to point out again, Black Americans tried to warn people. Nobody wanted to listen. And here we are. Um, Diabolical work, crazy work, directly out here. Like I said, I don't know what to tell people. I realistically don't know what to tell people. These are not things that I just hope and wish directly on people. But again, when people don't want to pay attention, people don't want to happen to listen, things like this will just so happen to take place. And a lot of people out there are going to have to suffer the consequences. But the craziest part is, like I said before, when it details a lot of their own people deciding that, hey, I want to vote against my best interest and I don't care what happens as long as I get a little bit of something directly out of it. This is what happens, right? The little bit that decided to sit up there and vote, in a sense, encompass the mass majority directly out there, and now the rest have to sit up there and suffer. Like I said, this has nothing to do with Black Americans. No matter how people try to bait and switch and move the goalposts and try to say that, oh, Black people, look at this, they're deporting this and that. You guys are next. No. We've always been the first group, the first bunch. If they realistically ever wanted to, at any moment in time, try to get rid of us, they would have been done that eons ago. But guess what? They can't. They couldn't, because they know something that everybody else doesn't. This is why at no point in time have they ever decided that, oh, we're going to sit up there and shift you guys back over there to Africa. What was it? Wasn't it Marcus Garvey who at one point in time, somebody can correct me in the comment section. I could have sworn, wasn't it Marcus Garvey who was trying to, he had like a boat or whatever, and he was going to take, Black people over to Africa, right? Those who wanted to go, and there was like a lot of Black people from across the United States that wanted to sit up there and go. And the moment of time that was going to happen, the United States government made sure to put a stop to it. Isn't that weird? Isn't that a little bit weird? All of these people that always tell Black people, like, oh, you guys can go back to Africa. The moment in time that you had somebody that had a boat that was going to try to take Black Americans over there to Africa, your government stopped it. Why is that? Why would you stop that? Right? There's no need for us to be here, right? Slavery and everything is said and done. We don't bring any type of worth of value directly to this land. So why would you stop somebody trying to do that? That's a little bit weird. That's a little bit weird. Mm. Mm. Diabolical work. Yo, Mahoko is in the building. What is up? What is up? What is up? Much love, respect, and appreciation. Oh, Michael said, I just got 10K vegetable seeds today. Hey, that's dope. Hopefully, that'll be dope if you got a farm now. Sideline topic to Michael. If you got those 10K vegetable seeds, like I was telling y'all before, that'll be some very good content. When I did a little bit of research on some of the areas that make quite a bit of money, home and gardening was one of those areas. So this is technically right up that alley. You can go through and plant your seeds, decide to tell people about the seeds, go as descriptive as possible, scientific terms, educating people and all of that, step-by-step processes, the reasons why. Like I said, you can make it into a whole, thing, and start up a YouTube channel, start up a TikTok, an IG, an X account, and all of those things, right? Because that'll be, forever, what they consider evergreen content. And that's something that no matter what time period it is, somebody can come back and learn directly from that video. Like I said, it'll be the gift that keeps on giving. So, I say, look into that. And you can also do it faceless as well. You don't, necessarily have to show your face or anything in that nature too. But yeah, back to the conversation about the Homeland Security acts the IRS agent to be deputized. Yeah. So there's going to be a lot of things that's going to be transitioning during this period of 4 years, and potentially even past this 4 years. But we have to wait and see if certain legislation gets passed. Again, I will do my best to keep tabs directly on that if it gets passed or if it doesn't, or if it is still in limbo, I will let you guys know. But going on to the exact same path, we have this video here.
I'll be sent to a country that I don't know. Like, there's nothing there for me. At any moment, it's just done. And it's just like, I have to say bye to my family, bye to my friends and my boyfriend. I have to say bye to my clients, and I just don't have my life anymore. Buy a house. I want to do things. How am I supposed to do that?
Originally, I have 4 miscarriages. Afia was my 5th pregnancy.
So I want y'all to before it even gets into, I want to let y'all know the young woman that y'all saw there, she is Jamaican, right? And the whole premise of the whole story is that she doesn't have papers. Like, so basically they're undocumented all the way through. The mother doesn't have any type of paperwork. She overstayed her welcome in the United States, and so is the daughter, right? So let's continue.
Tell me about the decision to leave Jamaica.
I'm not sure if there was a decision, like a plan. In my head, when we came up, I thought that wouldn't be long after we came up, maybe a few years, and then we would be able to travel
What is up, Gil?
back and forth. We were naive to the immigration. When we made that decision, we were going to come up and then go back down and just bring her to the embassy.
Donette found out she had lupus, a painful autoimmune disease.
So I post on social media. I try to do it every single day. I got brands reaching out to me. Right now I'm working with 3 brands, and I would love to monetize it more. A lot of the brands that reach out to me, a few of them have asked for W-2. I've had to turn them down.
When you were a kid, did you understand that your parents didn't have papers and that you didn't have papers?
This was the first one I think I can remember. I was in junior high school, and I got accepted into a program for kids in lower income neighborhoods. And if you score high enough, you can go to boarding school. And then she told me, like, you can't do this program. You don't have the papers for it.
How did that make you feel towards your parents?
I was so mad because I was like, this wasn't my fault. I was like, I didn't do anything, and I was the one that had to just suck it up. Like, it wasn't my fault, and yet my life, I can't do things. I couldn't understand why they would put me in a situation like this.
For a while, Afia was able to get a work permit through the DACA program. But DACA requires renewal every 2 years.
2020 was when it expired, so I got screwed.
You said something interesting that I want to understand. There is a big part of you that wants to go home. You don't want to go home like this on a deportation flight.
After 20-something years, it's almost like I'm being kicked out as a criminal.
A lot of the people behind Donald Trump and a lot of the people who voted for him believe that you are a criminal because you broke the immigration laws by staying here longer than you were permitted to. And for that reason, they don't want you here. How does that make you feel?
I am hurt about it. And yes, I will admit that I made that decision to overstay, but that doesn't make me a criminal.
So, like I said, I don't know what to sit up there and tell people. This is why I try to tell people, do things the right way. Do those things the right way so that you don't get caught up. The daughter is caught up because the mom and the parents did not want to do the right thing. They just wanted to try to, live here for 20 years. They weren't worried about papers. They were like, we got the good life, yada, 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 all this other type of good stuff. But at the same time, the mom is like, yeah, I do want to go home, but I don't want to go home. Like, what are you talking about? Going home is going home. You acting like if you go home because you got deported, it's a major L. Ma'am, you were here for like 20 years and you raised a child who technically is successful on social media. So I'm a little bit confused on how it is that you feel like if you go back home, this is an L, and as soon as you arrive there, you're like, your people are just going to be ashamed of you. This ain't those Asian countries. That's not how that works. Some people probably be like, yo, you was there for like 20 years. You ain't had no papers. Oh man, I wish I could do that. What? Like, I'm confused. I'm highly confused. Like, man, I don't know. Like I said before, it's difficult to feel sorry for people when, again, people mess up on purpose. People mess up on purpose. And more than likely, she was getting all types of assistance and whatnot or whatever for her family, right? And again, not being American, raising their kids here and everything. But then you got average everyday Americans who raise their kids every single day that can barely get a red cent from the government without them trying to, ask questions, penny pinch, and do all of this other type of extra stuff. Like I said, I keep trying to tell people, like I said, back to what was that dude's name? Jasper, whatever his name is, him and all of his ilk. This is the main thing that I be trying to explain to a lot of people directly out here that, yo, y'all want to come up here and argue with me, but you don't want to argue with the facts that your own people that look just like you are in government, that you voted for, that you allowed to be there, that you allowed to have control and oversight directly over you. They're the ones messing you out of a whole bunch of money. And I'm showing examples of this, but like I said before, people don't want to listen because they want to turn on their faucet of racism and bigotry. They want to turn that directly on to blot out any other information that I got to give. So, like I said before, when people fall, they're just gonna be falling hard, and I'm not gonna be giving a helping hand to pick people up because people choose not to listen. People choose not to sit up here and listen. And this is, I'm going to be in on a respectful tip. If I, as a United States citizen, if I went over to a whole nother country and I lived there for 20 years and I had no papers and they decided to kick me out, I can't sit up there and be mad because I knew what it was. I knew that realistically I shouldn't have been here. And if I did want to be here, then I should have been applying for a dual citizenship or dual visa, whatever it is. Or I should have been applying for citizenship there so that I could actually stay to live there. Nowhere in my mind would I think to leave the United States and go over to another country and live there. If I'm going to choose to live there, I might as well sit up there and be a citizen. That's only common sense. That's logical reasoning. You don't sit up there and uproot. She came directly from Jamaica to the United States and was like, well, I'm not going to worry about becoming a citizen. And here you go. Now you got yourself in a bind, and now you got your daughter in a bind. And America's all that she knows. This is all that she knows. So she's sitting up here crying and tearing up. She was like, I want to get married. I want a relationship. I want to raise kids. I want to buy a house. Da 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 da. I'm going back to an area of which of people that I don't even know. Well, you're going to have to learn them now. You're going to have to know them. Oh, okay. So that's a little bit of information. You said Lanaka said Jamaicans do view deportees back to Jamaica as losers. Huh. Okay. Well, that gives thank you for that insight. Much love, respect, and appreciation. Well, that does now explain why it is that she feels the way that she feels about getting deported. Because in my mind, I'm like, other people gonna look at you almost like a success story. Like, you were there for like 20 years and you got to just live it up and da da da. But hey, if people happen to look at people as losers, hey, it's tough. Like I said, but she should have thought about that. I put it to you like this: she could have fixed this situation probably at least like 5 or 10 years ago. 5 to 10 years ago, she could have potentially fixed this situation so that they wouldn't even have to be in a documentary. Nobody would even know who they are. But they opted not to do it. The only smart one out the bunch was the daughter. She was like, all right, I done missed out on a lot of opportunities. Let me sit up there and at least get like a work visa. She did that. I'm not sure why she didn't try to go for some type of paperwork or whatnot, but she did the visa. So she at least tried something. But like I said, this is how it works, man. Somebody said the white guy that she got married by didn't marry her. I don't know who she got pregnant by. I do know that the child is pretty light though, and I'm looking at the mother, so I don't know. Said also just some guys just wrong. Doe Davis was convicted of 400 plus. I don't even know what that means. And they were viewing her daughter as a Yankee. Probably was. Talking about they should deport Kansas. He said, right, they should have become legal back in the 90s when they were first giving people amnesty. Oh, yeah, I forgot about that too. That is crazy. Jimmy Hopkins was like, bro is a super soldier to get racist to be less racist like Black Captain America. I'm not about that life. If you are a racist, be proud to be a racist. I don't got no problem with that. Be you. Do not sit up there and hide that. Don't put it under a cover. Don't try to mask that. Be originally you. Whatever is in your DNA, be that. I have a problem with people not being honest. That's my problem. That's the problem right there. When people want to masquerade, like I said before, like the one dude that popped up here that wanted to, go from 0 to 100, and you started to see real quick where his mind already was, where he wanted to, paint black people as criminals and thieves and all this other. Yeah, like I said, be honest. Start like that from the get go. Don't just walk into this conversation thinking like, I'm about to sit up and get his guard down and be friends and da da da. Nah, 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 nah. Nah, nah, nah. We ain't doing that. We ain't doing that. Like I said, I respect honesty from the jump. 100% honesty. But like I said, a lot of them are too fearful of actually being honest. Like I said, this is why you got Twitter. Y'all can be honest as all get out, unfiltered, because you got God Elon up there allowing you to, say and post anything that you want to sit up there and post. And like I said, I thank him for that honesty. I thank him for actually owning X and showcasing the amount of racism that is directly up there. I love it. Because before that, you didn't it was prevalent, but it wasn't just out in the open, right? You had to like really try to sit by and wait for those profiles. Now you can pretty much just go there, and within about 10, 15, 20 minutes of scrolling, you'll happen to see some stuff, or you'll see some comments, right? So like I said, honesty is the thing that matters. Black Captain America, I would never even try to be that, because that would be a thankless job, and America's ungrateful. So, for all intents and purposes, for me, Captain America could always be white. I would never want, if that was ever a real thing, I would not ever want a black man to represent that, because of the history of the United States and how thankless the people of the United States are for a lot of the things that black Americans have contributed to this country and still do to this day. Never. So yeah, y'all can have that. Y'all can keep that. Y'all can keep that. I'll just say. Invictus said illegal immigrants, they are American citizens. They're United States citizens who came here as prisoners. They're here with no green card, no visa, and stealing land and resources. No, that's true. That's true. That's 100% facts. What's strange about deportation is the people that they keep posting the pictures. They say pick your own vegetables for $5 an hour now. I mean, it'd be like that. You got a lot of Americans out here that need to be working, or some people that say that they can't, realistically find a job. I'm specifically talking about the Caucasian Americans. They say that they can't find their job. They say that a lot of people are taking jobs directly from them. So, if the quote unquote illegal immigrants were out there picking up the vegetables and helping to feed America, I feel that a lot of the Caucasian Americans that voted for this and said that they can't find a job, they should go out there in those fields and do it. But they're not going to do it. It's almost like the same question that a black woman posed to a group of white women. She said, and I'm paraphrasing, would you trade your whiteness to be a black woman? And those white women were looking perplexed. They were like, what do you mean? See, they were like, this has to be a trick question, because realistically, they know that they wouldn't. And then you have some of the goofies up there. They wanted to say, "Oh yeah, I would sit up there and trade." No, you wouldn't. No, you wouldn't. You wouldn't be able to survive. You would not be able to survive a month or a year being a black woman in the United States. You would not be able to do it, because the main thing that they look at is the attention that black women get, and that's it. Right? Or maybe they might look at the body types and stuff like that. They might look at the physical attributes, right? But they're not looking at things that are historical in nature, or things that black women have to suffer and go through continuously, day after day, time after time. You know, like I said before, it's the exact same thing. Exact same thing. It's crazy work. Dark said, "Got to charge my phone again." No problem, brother. No problem. No problem. No problem. Michael McCullen says so. Anthony Mackie can kick rocks. I mean, we're talking about. I was talking about from a real world perspective, right? If Captain America was a real world type of deal, I said that I would not sit up there and do it. Going by the comment that somebody else made, Anthony Mackie doing it, that was because in the movie, which a lot of people didn't pay attention to, even Hideo Kojima sat up there and stated, he was like, when did Falcon become Captain America? I'm like, your brain must be fried there, sir. Because I'm like, this was literally shown. If people paid very close attention throughout a lot of the films, especially when Falcon and Captain America was together, you could see their friendship. You could see everything that was there. And then you can also see the distance that Cap had directly with Bucky. Even though Bucky was that was his sidekick, his original sidekick. That was his partner. That was his guy, right? But things happened. Things took place. Bucky was not the same person that he was when Captain America was originally Captain America, right? Two different people. So then as time basically went on, you had Captain America with his new sidekick, Falcon, right? And then you saw the friendship there, you saw the bond and everything, like that. And then when old man Cap was sitting after living his time, he was like, yo, I want to give this to you. And he did that. And I'm a little bit confused on why people don't understand this is how this happened. They acting like, oh, this is a DEI hire. Oh my God, they got Falcon as Captain America. You could never be Captain. People just like frying their brains directly out here, just off of seeing this, just off of the sense. And I'm like, why are you guys losing your minds over a fictitious character? And then in response, they'll sit up there and say, well, how would you like it if Black Panther was white? Go ahead and do it. Stan Lee, a Caucasian man, was the man, or some other artists out there were the ones that created a lot of these black superheroes. So go ahead and sit up there and make them white. It is what it is. Y'all the ones that have property and ownership of these characters anyway. You acting like it's really taking something from us. It's not. Because again, they can't list anything else. The only thing they can try to do is like, oh, how would you feel if we made Malcolm X or Martin Luther King white? You can't, because those are actually real figures. Those are real people with real lineage, with real families, children still alive to this day. So yeah, good job. That ain't happening. So like I said, they don't got nothing. Like I said, you got millions of superheroes that they've literally created, millions upon millions. And then the few times that you'll have somebody else take the throne, this is when people want to lose their minds. You can have aliens, you can have zebras, bears. They didn't have dinosaurs be Captain America. They didn't have robots be Captain. Nobody was losing their minds. But the moment of time that people see the red, white, and blue on a black body, they're like, no, this is not right. This does not bode well. This does not sit well. You don't deserve it. That's the whole thing. A lot of them feel that a black man does not deserve the right, no matter what he's done in this country, they feel that he does not deserve to have the right to represent or to hold down those colors. They feel like they are the only ones that have the ability and the possibility to be able to do it. Crazy work, though. Crazy work. RTS said, are you on TikTok too? I am, but I barely post stuff on there. But I do have a TikTok page. I do have some videos up there as well too, that people can peruse and go directly through. I would have a lot more on IG, but people tend to report my videos on IG because they don't like them. So it is what it is. Again, I try to point out problems. I try to get issues directly out there. So it doesn't matter who it is. I can put out things dealing with black people. People will sit up there and report it. I'll put out things about white people. People will sit up there and report it. Like I said, I'm dealing with her from both angles. There's nothing I can do. Nothing I can do. It be like that. It's tough out here. It is tough out here. What was it? Will Davis said they cried over Green Lantern 2 from Hal Jordan to John Stewart. I mean, it'd be like that. It'd be like that. They had a Hal Jordan, but it failed. They had Ryan Reynolds was the first Green Lantern that we realistically have in live action, and it failed. So, okay, that failed. So now they're going to go with John Stewart. Technically, they're killing two birds with one stone because they're doing Guy Gardner, right, who was in the new Superman film, and then we're going to have John Stewart. So they're giving you two for the price of one, right? So they're like, all right, we're not going to just drop the whole white thing. We're going to give you Guy Gardner. And technically, I do like Guy because he's sarcastic in all of these things and whatnot, and some of the things in the comics. And then I love John Stewart because I grew up, being able to see him on the Justice League cartoon. and seeing the character and whatnot. What was the brother's name? McDuffie. Shout out to McDuffie. R.I.P. To that man. That was a great writer. He wrote for Zeta. He wrote for Static Shock, Justice League, and I think maybe like a few others. And also, I want to give a shout out to Milestone Comics. A lot of people here don't even know what Milestone Comics are, but that is an all black comic book made by, written by, colored by, everything, all black. Black men started that back in the 90s, and Static X came directly from that, aka Static Shock. So, got to give people, their flowers, directly out here. Let me see. Also, the comics, people get too tied up. Yeah. Michael said, my bro asked me a similar question, and I said, no, at best, they can be mediocre and uninteresting, and at worst, they're cruel and violent. Hard pass. The switch question. Gotcha. Dark said, one time they made Captain America into a werewolf. Oh, yeah, I think I do remember that. Dark said Ryan Reynolds wasn't the first Green Lantern. They had one in the 70s and one in the 90s. I'm trying to remember the one in the 90s. Well, I'll put it to you like this. For at least this current time period, dealing with superhero films as big as they are and as popular as they are, he is the first one. If we had him in the 70s and would you say the 70s and the 90s? I mean, all right, that's cool. I mean, we also had the Fantastic Four back in the 90s too, but that was a fail as well because they just threw that out there so they can keep the rights. So, a lot of instances you'll have these corporations, they don't want to lose the rights to certain things because they don't know what to do. It's in limbo. They don't know what to do with it. They don't know if it will be successful. They don't want to spend the money and all of these other things. So they'll hurry up and throw out something real quick so they can keep the rights a little bit longer. Right. Again, going back to the Fantastic Four movie that they had in the 90s, and the Ben Grimm in that costume actually, kind of dope. He actually, looked like Ben Grimm, like the same Ben Grimm. Now, it's just too bad that I want to say it should be CGI instead of it being, an actual costume. Like, what was the guy from Shield's name? Michael Chiklis, I think was his name. I love that guy as Ben Grimm. I think he was a pretty good Ben Grimm, actually. Pretty good. Let me see. K5 said Dwayne McDuffie. Thank you, K. Yeah, Dwayne McDuffie. Yeah. Shout out to that man and RIP. That was I wish he would. Man, I feel like a lot of shows, animation wise, written wise, will be a lot different. Because when that man was writing, it was like it was dealing with actual issues. And that's the one thing that I love about shows like cartoons from like the 90s and like I'm talking about early 2000s. They actually dealt with real world issues like if I was growing up during that time, I would more than likely see that, face that, or hear about it. Right. Versus it just being like some imaginary type of stuff. The cartoons that a lot of kids have now, it's not dealing with actual real world stuff that they'll go out here and basically see. It's not touching on, some of those hard to digest topics. Right. Like I said before, it's tough out here. It is tough out here. Rabbit said, "How you a Captain America fan and racist at the same time?" That's what I be saying when it deals with a lot of those on Twitter. It's some crazy work. Crazy work. Kylie said, "What do you think about a Static Shock movie?" I think it would actually be pretty well. I think it would be pretty good. This is something that I wanted over. I want to say me and my friends talked about it. I want to say about like over 20 years ago. Over 20 years, I've been waiting for a Static Shock movie. We said the same thing about a Black Panther movie. And originally, I think me and the group of friends that I had, we were talking about Wesley Snipes being Black Panther, right? Because the whole thing with Blade was pretty much, said and done. And Wesley Snipes is dope. He's a martial artist. He can move and everything like that. He's a pretty good actor. And I'm like, yeah, he can sit up there and do it. I can see it. I could even see, in one in sort of kind of in an instance, well, when he was a little bit leaner, I would say Michael Jai White. I could see him as a Black Panther at a point in time, but I really felt that Michael Jai White would would have fit more as a War Machine because of like the build that he has now going with the cartoon from like the 90s as well. I felt like Michael Jai White would have felt fit well as a War Machine instead of like a Don Cheeto or whatnot. Because I'm looking at other guys who are like thinner, and War Machine, this dude was, if correct me if I'm wrong, the dude was from the military or still in the military, right? And so I'm like, usually if you're in the military, you're built. You got, you've been working out, right? So you're looking swole and everything. So I'm like, that's going to match up with somebody who has to be a bodyguard for quote unquote Tony Stark, right? You're going to have somebody that's bigger that's going to be this bodyguard, right? Because you're supposed to be a protector. But, like I said, that's just me. That's just my thought process. Gail said, facts, Seji, it's up to us to teach our own. Yeah, it is. It is. 100%. 100%. Michael said, I broke someone's brain the other day by asking them the name of black soups that aren't electrical. Ooh. Ooh. You know what? Technically, I would actually throw Icon directly in there, even though I know that Icon is an alien. But the way that Icon is written, he landed here a long time ago and he landed during slavery. Icon is actually DC. And it was quoted as Superman saying that he is one of the hardest hitters that has ever hit him, right? But Icon is an alien landed here on Earth. He landed here during the slavery, times. He took on the appearance of a black child. So he was raised during that time period, right? Like I said, they got some dope stories for different, superheroes directly out there, but that's if people happen to, go for them. RTS said, I'm surprised that Spawn didn't go further than what it did. Yeah, there was a multitude of things there, but I did like, Michael Jai White as Spawn as well too. I felt like that was a pretty dope thing. I really wish that would have continued. I feel like they could actually do it if they were to read. I think, let me see, because I'm trying to get my words correct, because there's two things, right? If they were to redo it, I would love to see Michael Jai White reprise the role of Spawn. But if he didn't want to do it, I would go with, they stated before, I think that Jamie Foxx was supposed to do it, or there were some things, out there stating Jamie Foxx. I can see that as well too. Right. And I can see how, that would, fit up in different things in that nature. So, it'll be interesting. Be very interesting. Oh yeah, Mr. Terrific. Yeah, he in the movie. I heard some stuff about Mr. Terrific. I'm going to wait and see. I'm hoping some of the stuff is not factual, because it's gonna be highly questionable. It's gonna be a little bit problematic for me, just a little bit. But I'll just wait and see. I'll wait and see. Icon was founded by a slave woman, and she raised him. Yep. And the funny thing is, Icon showed up in a episode, if I remember correctly, in the original episodes of Justice League, the TV series from the 2000s, the cartoon that was on Cartoon Network. Correct me if I'm wrong, I swear to goodness, he was actually there. But it just sucks that they did not really give him like some shine. Like later on, they started giving Justice League members like some shine time in different episodes. They started getting away from, the main, 5-6 characters that we all know and love, and they started showing, the other characters and whatnot, which was actually pretty dope and cool. And they showed off, their powers, their banter, the conversations, and team synergies and stuff. So, pretty dope. Pretty dope. What was the original voice actor for Spawn? Couldn't even tell you. Could not even tell you. But this was a side conversation because it got away from the main videos. So I actually got what was it, like 2 more videos left, I think. Do I got 2 more? Let me see. Hold on. Is this one of them? No, not that one. That one. Where is the other one that I had directly up here? I had another one actually for you guys that I wanted to showcase, because I was actually pretty proud of the father. Let me see. Is this the one? Yeah. This is the one.
It's fucking lie. Yeah.
So I want to go back up to highlight what Gail stated. where she said that it's up to us to basically, teach our children. So I want to give a shout out in respect to the father that realized that something was happening, something was going on. Like I said, I don't know the father's background, but obviously he'd been out there in the streets. He knows some stuff, and he wanted to set some type of a tone and or correction when it dealt with his son, trying to, perpetrate, act like he was gang banging and doing all this other type of stuff. So let's just watch this video real quick.
Yeah. Now say it. Go ahead.
I don't gangbang.
Where you from?
Nowhere.
Say it, nigga. Say it loud, nigga. Where you from?
Nowhere. I just said nowhere.
So you ain't from no East Coast, no nothing, right?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Nigga don't bang at all. He ain't from nowhere, nigga. I'm his mother dad. He's not from nowhere. We ain't doing no gang banging. Do that little smirk on your face again, nigga. I'll fuck you up, nigga, on this camera, nigga. Do it again. I'll fire your shit up right now. Now tell these motherfuckers where you from. Tell them where you from.
Nowhere.
Think I'm playing with you? Huh?
No.
Like I said, this little ain't from nowhere. No East Coast, no nothing. Right or wrong?
Yes.
Now all you motherfuckers know that. None of that bullshit ass gang banging. None of that shit going on. I don't accept none of that shit. All you little wannabe gang bangers out there, all that shit. We focus on school and getting money and being successful. That's it. Right?
Yes.
Look at the camera, nigga.
I just say yes.
Look at the camera.
Yes.
Where you from?
Nowhere.
Look at the camera when you say it, Isaiah.
Nowhere.
You ain't playing no motherfucking games over here. Yeah, all your little homies on there want to be homies. Y'all want to be gang banging. And none of that shit going on, bro. Leave my son out of that shit. He focused on school and trying to do shit with his life. We ain't doing no gang banging over here at all. Believe me, not about that life. None of that shit going on. Right?
Yes.
All right. Yeah. Here's Pops. Anybody got a problem with that?
Yeah, like I said, much respect to the father. What was it? You said exposing his son to the streets and now the internet. How did he expose his son to the streets? How? He's sitting up there literally, because more than likely that's his son's IG or whatever it is. And he's on there and he's sitting up there like letting the people know that follow or that listen to him, like, yo, he ain't gangbanging. We ain't doing none of that over here. He is in the books. He is focused on school. We ain't doing none of that over here. And he was more than, before the video cut off, he was more than likely going to sit up there and tell people like, yo, we ain't doing that over here. If you got it, I'm his father. And if you got a problem with that, you can come see me. And they not going to come see him. I can promise you that. I have not met a time, I've not seen a time in life, at least at this moment, where people were like, oh yeah, we about to really get him directly in this gang. Oh, his father said, come see him. All right, we're going to sit up and come. Because they know it ain't even that serious. It's not even worth it. They got, some other fool directly out there that they can sit up there and initiate directly into a gang and take his spot. They got 20 other fools out there. Trying to sit up there and sacrifice yourself over one person ain't even worth it. Like I said, I have major respect for a lot of fathers like this. I have a lot of respect for fathers out here who are active, who are directly there in their children's lives. And the moment in time that they see some stuff at that instant, it's like, oh, no, we about to correct this right now. He didn't wait no weeks, no months later. He saw him on live and he's like, give me this phone. This is what we about to do. This is what this show is about. This is what this live is about to be about. Like I said, he set the whole thing himself. So like I said, shout out to the fathers that's present in and around their children's lives. Shout out to y'all. Much love, respect, and appreciation. Much love, much love. So now we're going to go to the next video, and this is dealing with good old Donald the Trump.
It's going to be very, very good. We're going to be selling a gold card. you have a green card. This is a gold card. We're going to be putting a price on that card of about $5 million, and that's going to give you green card privileges plus. It's going to be a route to citizenship, and wealthy people will be coming into our country by buying this card. They'll be wealthy, and they'll be successful, and they'll be spending a lot of money and paying a lot of taxes and employing a lot of people. And we think it's going to be extremely successful. Never been done before or anything like this, but it's something that we're going to be putting out over the next, would you say 2 weeks, Howard? Do you want to
2
say
weeks.
a couple of words about it?
Sure.
Mr. President, are there
Wait a
any
minute.
requirements?
Hold on a
Do you have to invest a certain amount of money in this country in order to qualify for that gold card?
Yeah.
So
Go
the
ahead.
EB-5 program really lends some money, but it was full of nonsense, make-believe, and fraud, and it was a way to get a green card that was low-priced. So the president said, rather than having this sort of ridiculous EB-5 program, we're going to end the EB-5 program. We're going to replace it with the Trump Gold Card, which is really a green card gold. So they'll be able to pay $5 million to the U.S. government. They'll have to go through vetting, of course. We're going to make sure they're wonderful, world-class global citizens. They can come to America. The president can give them a green card, and they can invest in America, and we can use that money to reduce our deficit. Why do we give out lotteries of green cards? Why do we give out EB-5 for green cards? The President of the United States understands that the right answer is, why don't we eliminate the deficit of the United States of America instead?
The gold card, well, millions, but the gold card will bring in with it people that create jobs, very high-level people. I think companies will pay to get people in. For instance, you today graduate from the Wharton School of Finance or Harvard or Stanford or any college, and nobody knows you can even go to work for a company. So Apple and all these companies that people to be working for them will be able to buy a card, and for the that are number one in their class at top schools. I see one of the things, but generally speaking, it'll be people with money and people that create jobs, and they won't have to pay any tax on income outside of the United States, which they're not paying right now. They're not citizens, but they'll have to pay if they create jobs in the United States. They'll pay full taxes like everybody else. So you're getting big taxpayers, big job producers, and we'll be able to sell maybe 1 million of these cards, maybe more than that. And if you add up the numbers, they're pretty good. As an example, 1 million cards would be worth $5 trillion. $5 trillion.
Wow.
And if 10 million of the cards, that's a total of $50 trillion. Well, we have 35 trillion in debt. That'd be nice. So we'll see. But it could be great. Maybe it will be fantastic. We have it all worked out from the legal standpoint. It's totally legal to do. Hasn't been done before. It's done in many different forms. We give them away. Why should we give them away? We shouldn't give them away. And I think it's something very exciting. I think it's potentially just something that we're all very excited about.
So there you go. We got the gold card, as somebody said directly up here, the Super Saiyan green card. That is facts. And it costs $5 million. Now, this is obviously for those who are rich and wealthy in other countries. So he's thinking more so like places in Africa, places in China, places in India, Europe, and so on and so on and so on. And then to the further extent, he was saying, well, even if it's not specifically those people, you would have corporations that, of course, have money. Like, let's say Microsoft. Microsoft got money. Microsoft got long money, right? So 5 million is nothing. 5 million is like 5 cents for Microsoft. Like, real, just to be real, like it's nothing for them. So they could easily throw that to some people over there in India to pull them directly over to work in logistics or whatever it is that they got over there. So I can see in a sense how this could in a sense work out. But then it would also come down to the quote unquote American men out there, the Caucasians, and them having a problem and an issue where it's like, okay, well, we are getting this money and, jobs, they are coming in for working those specific jobs, but I'm qualified. I should also have that job. See, you're going to have a problem. It's still going to be an uphill battle. And this is what I talked about before, going back to Jasper, whatever that dude's name is, where I got stuff within these videos where I'm pointing out things specifically when it deals with their groups, but they don't want to listen. They ain't trying to hear a black man actually talk about this stuff, right? They just want to be in their own echo chambers, directly on X, and they want to be crying and screaming and, quote unquote, being the victim, as they normally like to tell black people, being the victim, on a lot of these areas. It's crazy work. It is it's 100% crazy work. But like I said, this is what people voted for. And this is just barely even the start of the year. And we will see where this will take us. And last but not least, I want to wait, let me see. Okay, that was that video. This person
really
here,
quickly.
if you don't know who that face is, I'm just going to let you know. This is Jasmine Crockett, right? So originally, I'm not sure if the brother might be here, but a brother in the live stream had corrected me earlier. He was like, yo, Jasmine Crockett, did not, say that when it dealt with the $5,000, right? And then I came through in the live stream. I was like, you know what? My apologies. Brother came through and said, like, the video was edited for, by other people for their own purpose. And, she didn't really say that. I was like, no problem. So I decided to do my due diligence, and I went to, I think it was like one mainstream media channel. I think it might have been, I'm not sure if it was MSNBC or it might have been CNN, but saw the video directly up there. And I listened to the video, and I also looked at the transcript. I was like, she really didn't say nothing about like $5,000 up here. I'm like, they really sat up there and they really doing some stuff. So I created a video where I gave you guys the first video where the 5,000 was mentioned, right? And then I gave you guys the actual video where it was her specifically speaking, and within that video, she didn't say anything about the $5,000, right? I come to find out, and this is Jasmine Crockett speaking from her own IG or whatever it is. She actually did mention $5,000. She actually did mention it, which means that somewhere along the lines of mainstream media, they edited that part out, because she's going to tell you specifically in here that she said it, which is crazy. So I'm like, okay, so let's get into it.
Because y'all is wearing me out. Like, I better understand why black folk got hoodwinked and got caught up and started saying that Kamala wasn't black enough, or she wasn't even black at all, and all this kind of stuff. Because legitimately, another member of Congress sent me a video of a woman who supposedly is a teacher. And I'm saying supposedly because I am hoping to God that this woman is not an educator of our future scholars, because for whatever reason, people don't question when right-wing media puts out things about me. Now, would you think that I'm their bestie, or that I am literally their number one enemy, or for all of those saying we're the Democrats? And then when people are out there and they're fighting for you, you immediately believe some of the most ridiculous stuff ever. You can go and look at all the videos of me and all the things that I fought for, even my conversations around reparations, and then you're not even questioning. Like, this video kind of ended abruptly. Y'all ain't got no questions. Y'all just like, oh, okay. And legitimately, this ABC interview, it's on YouTube. Like, it's just a matter of like Googling, you can see the entire interview. And if you have an issue with what I said, then that's perfectly fine, because for now, at least, we live in a free country. But let me tell y'all exactly what I said, since some of y'all are really confused because Elon and his friends decided to put it out there. What I said was, what is $5,000 going to do for you if you don't have a job? That is what I said. That is what I said. Because I can tell you that there's a lot of people that are losing their jobs with the federal government and could care less about a $5,000.
Let me go back.
Because I can tell you that decided to put it out there. What I said was, what is five?
So let me just pause it right there. So she said, what I said was, what is $5,000 going to do for you if? So she did say it. So I want to make a recorrection of a correction that I made. Miss Crockett did originally state, make an opinion about what would $5,000 do for the American people. She did make that statement. So it was not it was not a lie. It wasn't AI. It wasn't somebody that just tried to make her look bad. This was something that she actually originally stated, and this is coming from her own words off of her own social media platform. And she's going to go into depth into further explain. And I just want to sit up there and state this. I don't, for me, the way that I look at things is that people who are in the upper echelon, such as her, where she's making hundreds of thousands, or she might, have millions of dollars or whatnot, people like her should not try to tell the American people that $5,000 isn't going to do. You don't know what people are dealing with from day to day. You don't know how these people could potentially stretch $5,000. Like I said, you don't know anything. You don't know nothing about the kids. You don't know nothing about the medical. You don't know nothing about the living arrangements. You don't know anything about their food or anything. But you want to say that 5,000 ain't gonna do nothing for you if such and such as you this is not anything realistically you should be speaking on. If somebody's going to sit up there and give the American people $5,000, let it be that, because all you're basically going to sit up there and say is like, y'all don't need the $5,000 because of X, Y, and Z, but you don't have an alternative realistically. But yet you don't have to worry about the alternative, because guess what? You're getting paid by the taxpayers. You're getting paid hundreds of thousands or whatever amount of money. And then on top of that, you can also make money off of social media because you're well known, and you can instantly get like a blue check or verified and all this other type of stuff, and having a monetized account. So you're making hand over fist while everybody else is out here struggling. It's crazy work. But let's continue.
$5,000 going to do for you if you don't have a job? That is what I said. That is what I said, because I can tell you that there's.
You said, and I just misquoted her. I didn't. Did you not just hear what I said? Did you not see what was directly on the screen? And I clearly said that after she makes that statement, she's going to go in depth. But again, you shouldn't be making a statement like this knowing the fact that you're not in any type of money bind or circumstance like everyday average Americans. Let's continue.
There's a lot of people that are losing their jobs with the federal government and could care less about a $5,000 check. There's a lot of people that are going to lose their jobs as it relates to private industry that could care less about a $5,000 check. So what I was saying is, what is $5,000 if you ain't got no job? Because right now we are headed towards a recession. These were exact. And you don't have to believe me. Just Google the ABC live interview with me, and you will see that they intentionally stopped the recording right after I said what is $5,000, because they believed that people would not research and figure it out on their own. And sadly enough, like MAGA doing it is like one thing. To have a colleague send me a video of a black woman that is an educator, and she's out here live it, talking about this why she can't stand me. Man, we've never met a day in our lives. You ain't gotta like me, you ain't gotta love me, but at least get your facts together.
So let me just pause right there. So let me explain something real quick. What the person said that I misquoted her. Let me just deal with what she did say. She was like, what would $5,000 do for you when you got people losing their jobs in the private sector if you don't got a job? Let me tell you something. There was a point in time before I was doing YouTube, I was working directly at Whole Foods, right? And different things happened, and I had to sit up there and live directly in a hotel. And I had to pay $500 a week. Let me let you know that $5,000 that they're talking about right now, that would have helped me. That would have helped me a long way. So for her to sit up here, and that was me with a job, still working. So like I said, I'm talking from experience. When I can sit up there and say that what she's stating right now is complete BS, because even with the job and me having to sit up there and pay money to live in a hotel, $500 a week, that was due Monday or a Tuesday, depending on if they was working with me or not. A Monday or a Tuesday. I still remember I still got some of the receipts directly in my bag. That $5,000 would have went a very long way. That would have went directly for the transportation and travel. That would have went directly for the food or anything else that I might have needed, such as, let's say, like laundry, going to and from to sit up there and do laundry. So with or without a job, that $5,000 will sit up there and help out a lot of people. But like I said before, when you have people in government that want to talk, that have never really been through anything that ordinary people have actually had to go through, even people that have jobs, they don't know what they're talking about. They don't know what they're talking about. RTS said 5K could start a business. Yeah, it could. It very much could. It could help you start a variety of things on social media with 5K. You can do a lot. You can make that money stretch. Like, I kid you not. One of these times, I think even in the previous live stream, I sat up there and told y'all about money and social media and how to use certain things. If not, I'll probably maybe do another live stream going over that at a certain point. But yes, that 5K could go a very, very much a long way. And again, this is something that she literally just said. We heard her basically go through her explanations and all this other type of stuff and yada, yada, yada. But like I said, I'm just simply stating to everybody that is able to hear my voice, I was incorrect on when I thought originally that maybe they might have used like some AI or something to basically make her say that. Because when I looked at the interview that I was able to capture and I gave directly to y'all, nowhere in there did she mention anything about $5,000. So that's why, again, I came out, I did the video, and I originally gave the apology there, and I let y'all just sift through the information and do that. And now I have to come through and re-apologize because obviously I was not wrong. But like I said, it is what it is. It's crazy. It's crazy. Antoine Richard said 5K is a decent band-aid to work with. Yeah. Like you can do quite a bit. I'm not sitting up there saying you're about to, run out there and hurry up and get your car fixed real quick, but you can, buy, some tires if your tires are bald, right? It'll help you out with the gas. That'll help you out with the groceries. And especially if you know how to manage money very well, and you might be one of these people that know how to coupon shop. Oh yeah, that $5,000 is going to be looking infinite. It's going to be looking real infinite. But it's crazy to me to, in a sense, see somebody that's a government official slightly have a problem with just the existence of somebody saying that they're going to give $5,000 to the American people. When realistically, you're talking about like we're heading to a recession. Some people have been living in a recession ever since the pandemic. So it's like, what about those folks? What about those folks who never got out of the bind, the financial bind that they were in since the pandemic? So it's like, it's crazy to sit up there and say that we're going into a financial recession when for a lot of us out here, and this is what I talked about again, where you have a lot of people who are making a lot of money should not be speaking on this topic, because she don't got to worry about her rent. She don't got to worry about her mortgage, her bills, or her cars, or her kids, or none of that stuff. Right? There were just videos. If you go directly on TikTok, there are people right now that are talking about their mortgage or whatnot went up an extra $1,500. That is insane. That is insane. Matter of fact, I don't want to slide that video in here now. Matter of fact, this is the only time that you're going to see me potentially even agree with this guy. And the only reason I'm going to agree with this guy, y'all might know who he is. He's should be from Florida. Is because he made one thing that was some common sense. So let me just get this to y'all so y'all can hear it. And then we're going to come back to Jasmine Crockett.
Higher taxes, such as higher property taxes, to pay for these spending habits. And these property taxes, it's like you buy a home, you buy land, maybe you buy the home outright, but maybe you pay off a mortgage over 30 years. And then, okay, you've paid off the mortgage, you bought the land, you've been taxed many times. It's like, is it your property or not? Just for being on your property, you got to write a check to the government every year. So you're basically paying rent to the government to live on your own property. And our homestead exemption is not strong enough to help these folks because the property gets assessed so high. And that's the thing. If you buy a home for $300,000 and there's certain tax, well then what? 10 years later, they say it's worth $700,000. And so and they say, there's homestead stuff that helps protect you to a certain extent, but you're paying more.
And he's correct. Like basically, if you buy land or have it and you have a house directly on it or whatnot, you should not be, continuously paying taxes. Like if you didn't paid off your house, like you a 30-year mortgage, like you said before, you paid off like your 30-year, you shouldn't have to pay nothing else. You should just have to like manage like certain things, like let's say like the gas, the electric. You shouldn't have to, other than those things, you shouldn't be paying nothing else. You shouldn't. But like I said, you got the government's like, we're going to come back and reassess the land. You pay 300,000. We find that this is now valued at 800,000. So now we need you to pay more money. Word? Excuse me? What are we doing here? What are we doing? Like I said, that's insane. That's the only time that I'm actually going to agree with that man at all. Only time. Only time. But let's go back to Jasmine.
Telling y'all what I know. And you can again go into your own research if it's not too much for you. But you can do your research and figure out who voted for the American Rescue Plan. And you can figure out who it was that controlled the House at that time. You can figure out who it was that voted on the Senate side. It was the Democrats, y'all. It was the Democrats. And that was because it was a once-in-a-lifetime pandemic. And guess what? They were trying to save our economy. And guess what? They did save our economy. And guess what? This motherfucker is sending the shit literally into the shitter right now. Don't believe me? Look at the Dow. Look at private industry. Look at the fact that costs are going up, yet jobs are going down. That is a recipe for a recession. So no, it is not cute. It is not fun to sit up here and throw out some money. And in fact, what the speaker said was that would be good for our campaigns. Like legitimately, like literally, he just put it out there so that people, the only thing they'll remember, some people I guess, is that he said he was gonna give out $5,000, and it's a lie. It is a lie. Like everything else he does, lie. But if y'all want to believe the lies, then that's just on y'all. But I just wanted to make sure that I set the record straight, because for whatever reason, some people just cannot take it upon themselves to go on YouTube or go onto Google and figure out what I said. Oh, I'm just telling y'all what I know. And you can, again, go into your own research if it's not too much for you. But you can do your research and figure out who voted for the American Rescue Plan. And you can figure out who it was that controlled the House at that time. You can figure out who it was that voted on the Senate side. It was the Democrats, y'all. It was the Democrats. And that was because it was a once-in-a-lifetime pandemic. And guess what? They were trying to save our economy. And guess what? They did save our economy. And guess what? This motherfucker is sending the shit literally into the shitter right now. Don't believe me? Look at the Dow. Look at private industry. Look at the fact that costs are going up, yet jobs are going down. That is a recipe for a recession. So no, it is not cute. It is not fun to sit up here and throw out some money. And in fact, what the speaker said was that would be good for our campaigns. Like legitimately, like literally, he just put it out there so that people, the only thing they'll remember, some people I guess, is that he said he was gonna give out $5,000, and it's a lie. It is a lie. Like everything else he does, lie. But if y'all want to believe the lies, then that's just on y'all. But I just wanted to make sure that I set the record straight, because for what.
But yeah, and I don't want people to get it confused. Again, I don't have a dog directly in this race, because the government is basically the exact same person. Democrat, Republican, Republican, Democrat. It's all the same thing. One is just going to be honest about lies. The other one is going to be deceptive about lies. That's pretty much how that works out. But at the end of the day, the American people are the main ones that are getting lied to, and they're the main ones that are getting worked over. Because at no point in time do you see people like Jasmine Crockett or Rubio or whoever directly out there. You don't see them worried about a mortgage. You don't see them worried about being able to afford, milk or food for their kids, or what they're going to eat for dinner. They can Uber for a whole month without blinking an eye. They can have private chefs. They can decide to take a private jet to like Fiji or whatever and just eat and then fly. Like they can do all of these things. They don't have to worry about nothing. And they're continuously getting money from the American people while the American people are sitting back suffering. Not having enough for anything. And especially, like I said before, let's go back to the pandemic. Let's go back to Some of the times of East Palestine, Ohio. What about those people? What about what was it? Flint, Michigan, clean water. What about those people? What about the people of Maui? What about the people in Texas when what was it, Epcot or whatever the electrical company is down there? Something went wrong with the electricity during a winter or two ago, and people ended up losing their lives. What about those people? What about the people in California and the fires that took place? People getting burned out of house and home. What about those people? Like I said, this is how this government works. They will allow everybody to suffer. You got everybody online still doing, yeah, we won the election, rah, 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 yeah, 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 yeah. And then the people that lost, oh, we lost this, da, 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 all this other. It's crazy work out here. When at the end of the day, the main purpose of this government that we have at this moment is to get over on the American people, to steal as much money as possible, to keep them rich and to keep everybody else poor. But like I said, shout out to the true Americans out there. Shout out to the Caucasians out there that don't want to listen, don't want to pay attention. You feel like you done fought a good fight and y'all done finally won that fight, and you feel like that's it. So y'all gonna take a rest. They didn't already caught y'all slipping because you're slipping right now. But like I said, it is what it is. You know, y'all gonna sit up there and figure it out, man. Y'all are going to figure it out. Mo said H Obama fake drinking water in Flint. Yeah, the only water that you were able to drink was when Moses West came up in there. Moses West came in there with the water machine. You could drink that water. Or if somebody delivered some bottles of water, you could drink that water. You better not drink that tap water in Flint. You gonna, oh boy, it might even be curtains for you if you take a sip. That's how bad it is. It is bad. Shout out to Little Miss Flint, who has been the most active youth that I have seen at this moment in time since the age, I think it was like 8 when I covered her story, the age of 8, advocating for clean water, which is not even her job. Like I said, an 8-year-old doing more work out here for a whole community than other adults, than all of the adults in the United States. I'm just going to be real. Dude, there's no other way I can sit up there and put it. You got an 8-year-old. Like, that's, like I said, this is why you need to, protect the kids, and you got to make sure to hold them down, because you got a lot of great kids directly out here that can see beyond where a lot of adults can even see. Mr. Richards said that deep freeze down in South Texas was wicked. Yeah, it was bad. Sham said instead to solve it, the Federal Reserve made a mistake. Number 2, they raised interest rates, which caused the economy to tank further because spending power died, right? Yo, Will, what is up? What is up? You said the 5K would do a hell of a lot better than the 750 they tried to give out. Yeah. Let me see. We got Goff back in the building. You said, as a matter of fact, gas prices have started going down where I am. Well, if that is the only thing that you're basically focused on, then so be it. Like I said, this is only the start of these 4 years. We're not even close to the middle of the year yet, right? So like I said, people will figure some stuff out. People will find some stuff out, and it will be what it is going to be. But like I said before, for a lot of those out there that voted directly for Trump, you will more than likely have him for a 3rd term. So you guys should be very much excited for that. You guys should be going out there and still picketing and telling your people to get prepared for 2028 and to go out there and vote. Because if the legislation actually passed, guess what? You'll be able to have Trump for 3 terms, and that will be his 3rd term. So, that was for North Carolina people, right? I'm not sure which part you're talking about. D Money said, I mean, Trump did have a chance. You always seem to forget he had a term already and he ran it poorly. The way he handled the pandemic was embarrassing. It be like that. Technically, I look at both Democrat and Republicans, and nobody did anything right. I'm just gonna be real. Nobody did anything right at all. If people really want to sit up there and take into account, it feels like during that time, I feel like you got missing time. If you really sit there and you go back through the pandemic, through those years, it feels like there's missing time. It feels like more time passed than what was actually stated. I think didn't somebody say like the what's that? Yeah. If you think about it, the pandemic was 5 years ago. If you really think about it, because I remember covering it because I saw it before it hit 2020. I remember reading stories where they were talking about something was going over and happening in China. I remember seeing that it was towards I want to say like November or December, and I was like, I need to keep tabs on this. It might might be nothing, might be something needs to keep tabs on it. And then lo and behold, it darkened the door of 2020, and all hell broke loose. And I was like, oh, here we go. But yeah, that's where we are. I don't see any I don't see a left or a right as a positive when it dealt with the pandemic at all. See nothing. See nothing. You said at some point the state of Michigan needs to take responsibility and correct the water issue. They're not. They're not. And for Goth, the funniest thing is I covered this issue before. I showed both the black and the white folks that were sitting up there suffering in Flint. But like I said, a lot of people don't want to listen. Even when I point out the obvious thing of how the government is screwing over everybody, people don't want to sit up there and listen. They only want to listen when it specifically details with them or if I'm getting on them more than other people. So this is why we can't sit up there and solve anything because, a lot of people are in their emotions, you know, and the Michigan government, they're not going to care about a multiracial area that they consider to be poverty stricken. Pretty much the same way that the government doesn't, in a sense, really care about Detroit. This is one of the same reasons. If you think back to when they tried to separate a lot of the sports from other areas, right? We used to have like the Silver Dome and stuff like that, and they wanted to put that far away from Detroit. So if people wanted to see said games or whatnot, you had to go out to their areas to do it versus coming to the city. And they didn't want to let that go because if they did, then that means that all of those, those businesses that would normally get money yearly, they would have to close up shop. They would more than likely have to relocate and do this and do that and yada yada yada. And it's a whole big thing. But now, pretty much all the sports teams play in the city, which is great, which is what should have been happening in general. But now, because everybody is playing in the city, now they're like, we can't really have just the city of Detroit profiting. We can't really have that. We got to diversify that money. So we're going to start having white flight. We're going to bring in an influx of white folks here by first way of Duggan. We're going to get him directly, in here, and we're going to make it seem like it's okay, it's all right, and then we're going to start to have an influx of our people coming here because we're not going to give this all to the quote unquote residents of the city. No, we can't have that. Can't be out here doing that. If they're going to profit, we have to profit more, right? And that's what they did. So this is why we have Upper Detroit and Corktown, and all of these other names that are in Detroit that were never there before. They never existed. In the amount of areas that people are now trying to separate away from Detroit to make it seem like this is like New York, where they got Upper New York or Upper Manhattan, and like yeah, that's crazy work. That's crazy. Like I said, I love when people try to come into a city and then when they want to carve out something for themselves, they make sure to really section it off and to really put their stamp on it. When realistically, they didn't care about this city at all. Crazy work. Crazy. Diabolical. Awesome. D Money said, true, neither side has been great. Yo, two wings of the same buzzard. Facts. Sam said Trump did pretty well economically, but when it came to the pandemic, he did poorly. However, so did Biden. Biden made some huge mistakes that resulted in the economic falling right now. Mm. Tim said no politician is trustworthy, but right now Crockett isn't looking that bad. Tim said Michigan is a forgotten state like Kansas or Arkansas. Yeah. Or Arkansas. Sham said, honestly, the inflation problem cannot be fixed overnight. So Trump walking into a problem that was not his creation is going to be a hard fix, and people will hate him. Sham said Biden had the same problem when he walked into the pandemic and tried to fix things, uh, which he handled the pandemic. However, he made some huge economic problems that caused the economic pains we have. God said Trump is a businessman, not a politician, after Biden's last State of the Union address, stating that we should be very careful with very few rich oligarchs. I mean, everybody, I'm not, nobody ever said that Trump was a politician. Anybody would have to be a fool to believe that Trump is a politician. I've been looking at this dude for years, as long as I've been existing. You're fired, right? The Apprentice, WWE, all of these things. Nowhere at any moment in time. The only businessman that was, I'm sorry, because they're both businessmen. Politicians. The only politician that I can technically list that is in a sense like that is what, Kane and Arnold. Right. Those are technically the main two at this a moment in time. And then you also had what was his name? Oh my goodness, it's going to pain me right now because I forgot his name. Jesse the Body Ventura. Right. He was another one as well, and he's been one of the most vocal. If I were to trust any one of these entertainers to, in a sense, be a politician, it would be Jesse. Just by the amount of work and things that he has done to put directly out there to people to educate them. That'd be the only person that I would realistically, in a sense, trust. Just being real. Solo said Trump is a great white hope. I mean, there's always been a great white hope when it deals with the United States. Always. God said Sony think Trump is just a puppet also. Wait, was that typed right? Sonny, I don't know. But yeah, it's crazy. It is 100% diabolical. RTS said, seems when Democrats get in office, we tend to have economic problems. Leonard said, Donald Trump, thumbs up. Goth's laughing. Sham said, frankly, it was actually more down there. Sham said, frankly, we have a huge economic crash before we can fix the inflation, as the biggest mistake that was made was letting the Federal Reserve raise interest rates. They should have did price caps. Gail said, just like Obama inherited Bush's problems. Yeah, I mean, it's just going to keep going in like one giant circle. Like every president is, in a sense, got somebody else's problems from a previous administration that, that weren't fixed. But like I said, I don't trust no politicians. Timothy said Trump is selling us out like a treasonous dog, greedy to fill his own bowl more than everyone else's. He's putting a price tag on us as a country. I mean, America is a corporation. That's the main thing I tried to sit up there and tell people. America is a corporation. If you got a birth certificate or Social Security, you are a part of that stock that they trade on a daily. You are how they make money every day. We got Lala in the building. What is up? What is up? What is up? What is up? Dark said a failed businessman, but his cult thinks he's a politician. I mean, well, if you want to look at a failed businessman, I mean, America is in a state of failure at this moment in time, so it would match up. It pretty much, match up how that works out. We got Miss Anderson probably at work at this moment. Sham said, especially price caps on food, we're going to see mass starvation of people at this point. Yeah, the prices of food is crazy. And that's the main thing. And that's the funniest thing when I see people talk about stuff. Nobody wants to talk about the food. The price of food is crazy. Even if you want to just order, let's say just like a normal pizza. I remember during the pandemic, if you wanted to order a pizza, a medium was probably about 12. Right, probably about 12, maybe 11, and then it was about 25 per $25 for pepperoni or whatever it is that you wanted to, put on the pizzas. Now I'm looking at a medium pizza or, medium to a large pizza. That's about like $16. I'm like, brother, what's going on here? And then toppings in some places are about $1. I'm like, brother, what is happening here? I'm like, that makes no sense. I don't know what this inflation is. I don't know how this is sitting up here working. But it's going to get to the point where people are going to be like, yo, I don't care if these foods are killing us. I don't care about the GMOs or whatever it is. I'm about to be buying the most effective and the cheapest stuff directly out here for my family so that I can eat, so I can have stuff directly in my refrigerator. That's what a lot of people are going to be doing. But like I said, nobody wants to talk about the prices of food. Nobody wants to talk about how even the prices of fast food has gone up. And the price of fast food should not be going up. McDonald's, y'all should be ashamed of yourselves. Y'all should be 100% ashamed. Half of that food is just made somewhere else. And you got the nerve to sit up there and be going up on a lot of this food, knowing that it's trash. That's some diabolical work. That's crazy. That is 100% crazy. Mr. Richard said Ventura did some good things back in the day for Minnesota. Timothy said, I've been saying that Trump was going to sell us out for years. Dark Titan said Trump is the greatest white dope. Man, diabolical. God said Trump has gone bankrupt 2 times and made $1 million 3 times. What's a failure about that? Yo, let me tell you, if you specifically want to advocate for Trump, you want a body block for him, by all means. But I also want to say in return, that dude don't care about you. He don't know nothing about you, and he would not be defending you worth anything. Just to sit up there and be honest, like this is looking like how people used to do the rap battles back in the day when people had their favorite artists. Like if it was like a Jay-Z versus Nas, people would be going hard body, really trying to debate. Like, oh, he got 3 times gold records and he got this many singles out and da 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 da. I'm like, no, none of this matter because these people don't care. Everything that I'm saying right now, all of these people, Jasmine Cracker wouldn't actually care about what it is that I'm saying because she out there making money. Trump wouldn't care what I'm saying or critiquing on because he's out there making money and running the country and stuff. Not going to sit up there and care. But like I said before, to each their own. To each their own. Let me see. Mark said unsubscribe from the sellout. Oh man, that's crazy work. Thank you, Mark. Let me just hold on. Let me highlight you, Mark. My bad, buddy. Let me highlight you. So if anybody else that is on this channel that is just like Mark and you guys feel that I'm a sellout, you are more than welcome to unsubscribe, hit that block button, hit the thumbs down, and make sure you never come back to this channel ever again because I do not need you here. I didn't send for you. I didn't pray for you. I didn't ask for you. You came here on your own volition and you decided to sit here. Like I said, I'm dealing with, I would understand like if I'm dealing with teenagers or even like young adults. I understand that, right? I get it. They're, highly emotional, people still got some growth, but I'm dealing with people that are more than likely older than me. And this is how y'all sit up here and act. Grown adults more than likely got kids of your own that's probably well in their 20s or full grown adults, and this is how you're acting. You're sitting up here crying in the comment section. Okay. All right. So if any one of my mods, if you happen to see Mark's name, by all means, you can sit up there and just block him, whatever. I don't even care. I do not care. I don't got time. I do not got time. Don't got time. Jesus Christ. Patient 0 right there. And Mo was like, just like a Mark. Gail said, ironically, Trump is the biggest individual welfare recipient in the United States. Sham said every president has sold out the American people. The first to sell out was Bill Clinton when he sold America labor by signing NAFTA. I think I remember that just barely. Just barely. Rabbit said Donald Trump still thinks the Central Park 5 are guilty. Hey, it'd be like that. RTS said, how is he a billionaire and a failed businessman? Don't know. You can tell me though. Sam said Bill Clinton's first sell was about crime acts, which Biden wrote, right? Which allows police to get bonuses for every man that they put in jail. He sold out the people who voted for him. RTS said we need to start growing and raising our own food. That's facts, 100%. Timothy said, oh, and PSA to all, when it comes to the bird flu on in chicken stores, stay away from Purdue and get Tyson. Mr. Richards said toppings been $1 more, and we need to become the farmers and the gardeners we once were. Yeah. D Money said bring back the dollar menu. Yeah, that's facts. Sham said Bill Clinton had no problem claiming to be a black ally, smiling in our faces, meaning while he made $250 million on the prison to the jail to prison pipeline or school to prison pipeline, destroying millions of black lives. Facts. Dark Titan said Trump is getting his McDonald's for free again. I believe it. President of the United States, you're going to get stuff for free. God said, I don't eat McDonald's. I raise my own chickens and grow a lot of my own veggies, and I hunt during the season to fill my freezer. Revenge said some white boys started the Trump side gangster Crips. If that's even, I don't even want to look that up because that's embarrassing. I'm just going to state that right now. If there are white, if anybody white is listening to me, if y'all got some boys out there in your community that started some Trump side gangster Crips, that is embarrassing. That is, you are beyond looking at the downfall of your society at this moment in time. If you literally have the young boys, the young men of your communities doing that, it's curtains. It's curtains. Like I said, you already got Bad Barbie and what's that girl name? Alabama Barker sitting up there like rapping and how they it's already curtains. It's already curtains. Already curtains. Revenge said diabolical work. That's facts. That's facts. RTS said you aren't allowed to have your own thoughts. LOL. New Era said Mark is weird. God said Mark taking it too personally. Yeah, like I said, I don't know. I don't know what to tell people. I don't know. I don't know what to tell people. I state some things. I'll talk about some stuff, whatnot, whatever, and it'd be like that, you know. But like I said, I respect honesty. So in that much, I do respect that Mark came out and was like, "Yo, Cedric, because of your opinions and what you're talking about, I don't like you. No problem." So you can be directly off of this channel. You can be directly off of this channel. We got you. Well, either me and my moderators. We got you. We'll pack you right on up. You know, play this trap card. Sham said, don't get Tyson either, by local, especially if you can find a good local butcher. Yeah, that's another thing too. For anybody that goes to the market and you happen to shop, I don't care if it's Whole Foods or whatever it is, get to know your butcher or your local farmer. Like if you have farmers markets that pop up, get to know those people. So that once you get to know them, maybe they can give you like some deals or different things like that. Because I know, once you happen to get familiar with a lot of butchers, they can cut you some deals. Like in some instances, they might give you like a little bit of meat for free. You might get like 1 to 2 steaks, but like, I give you this off the side. Like you only got to worry about paying for this, all this. Like I said, kindness, niceness and conversation, socializing goes, a long way. So, just a little helpful tip for somebody that actually worked in a market, in a store before. Talking directly to the butchers and and everything like that. And also helping them out, packing and all that good stuff, right? What was it? God said, I stopped eating McDonald's when I found out you can buy a burger today and let it sit on your table for a year. Yeah. I talked about that stuff as well, too. Like I said, a lot of stuff I've talked about on this platform. But again, people don't like the content. People will take a lot of things personally or feel a certain type of way and not listen to the information and, lose out. So I've gone over a variety of foods, a variety of chemicals that at least I want to say about 25 to 30 chemicals that are directly in foods that are illegal in other countries, that are not allowed in other countries, that we specifically put in our foods here, that cause anything from heart disease, blood disorders, can lead to kidney failure, liver failure. They can cause Alzheimer's, dementia, and many other things, including cancers, right? And I've gone over these chemicals as well as shown the proof as well. Even went over fluoride, which is directly in our water. And I made quite a few videos listing, and it's listed as a neurotoxin. So like I said before, this is what we're dealing with when we're dealing with America. So if I happen to say something and it is negative talking about America, it's because more than likely 9 times out of 10 is factual. And I'm going off of the fact historically what America has done to the American people. But again, because I'm black and I'm saying this the way that I'm saying it as a black man, people don't want to pay attention. It'd be like that. It'd be like that. What else we got up here? Why did the Glazer Trump? As said, does anyone know the elders called the gardens, victory gardens back in the day? Nope. RTS said can buy a chicken and raise it for cheap. Yeah, D Money said they will hook you up in the meat market. That's facts. That's facts. Ian said go vegan. This is the thing. I do not disagree with what it is that you're saying with going vegan. I don't disagree with it at all. The thing that I will basically state is this. You have to be very cautious with everything. Meat is bad, and also straight just plants are bad as well too. Because remember, all of the chemicals, all of the chemicals, the GMOs, and all of these things that they mix into these plants. Some of these plants are being genetically made. Hold on. So yeah, all of the chemicals and the different things they do, they grow a lot of these things in labs from petri dishes and all this other type of stuff. Like I said, we don't know what it is that we're getting anymore. I showed y'all guys a video in Japan where they are growing meat from the quote unquote the protein that they get from fecal material from your waste that you put directly in your toilet into the sewage system. They take that, strain it, do whatever it is that they need to do, and they take the proteins directly out that, and they formulate this synthetic meat, and then they have to add a flavor and chemicals directly to it to make it taste like meat. Like I said, we don't know what it is that we're getting at this moment in time. It wasn't that long ago that they just recently told people that, hey, yeah, we're cloning fish. So this is more than likely what is out there on the market. This is what you're putting in front of, what you're buying up and you're putting directly on your dinner table. Because for the longest time, they weren't trying to divulge this information. They weren't trying to put this out there because they were testing this on the people. But like I said, nobody wants to pay attention. People don't want to sit up and listen. So it is what it is. It is what it is. So I'll just say, be cautious. To Ian, I just say, just be cautious. Dark Titan said, there's a couple here where I live. Got to go for great steaks. Yep. Mr. Richardson, yes, good brother. It's amazing butchers deep down here in Texas. Yeah. Timothy said America is only a corporation because of black people have power and wanted it a round 4. Okay, yeah, I get what you're saying. I had to try to paraphrase that though. Sham said, yes, my butcher gets chickens from local farmers, not these factory farms, and the meat is good. It's better not to buy processed food. It's not even packaged in America. They ship food overseas. Diabolical. Sham said, you should do the effects of Teflon and how they actively tried to cover that up. I haven't done Teflon, but I did Forever Chemicals, and how they have Forever Chemicals both in foods and they had them in clothes, specifically women's gym clothes, and how that can, affect women, being on certain parts of the body and, and all that other type of good stuff, and what that can also lead to. RTS said you can buy 1/4 cows on up to a whole cow for a fair price, and you can go in with a friend or a family. I believe it. You got to make sure to have a nice deep freezer for that too. Gail said vegan isn't for everyone and their bloodline. I need my meat. RTS said a lot of plants have proteins for defense and they aren't good for you necessarily. Sham said produce not just get a lot of chemicals, but they get fertilized with manure and holds bacteria. Even plant-based fertilizers can carry E. coli. A lot of plant-based foods is high in sugar and lack in taste, right? God said the banana that you eat today is GMO product. The real banana ain't nothing like what you buy in the stores. Yeah. Yeah. I showed pictures of that too. Normally bananas would actually have seeds. The other thing I also learned is that the greater percentage of the trees that we have that are around are male. So which means you're not going to really see any pollination. Like in order for the tree, like if you look it up, if you look at the information on the trees and how much of the tree population is specifically male versus female, yeah. And you'll know that this is by design. This is not because nature intended it to be this way. It's because humans decided that this is what they were going to do. They were going to manipulate nature. They were going to do this. And they were going to do that for whatever, specific, benefit. Rabbit says, Cedric gave me an idea for a new Pokemon chemical type poison. Technically, that would be like a Nidoran because that's a poison type. Ian said that's why you should go vegan. Most at Victory Gardens were vegetables, fruits, herbs planted to help feed the population during World War One and during World War II. They were also known as war gardens or food gardens. That's dope. Sham said they developed diabetes thinking that you're eating healthy. Eating vegan does not save the planet as it causes a big impact in the area. It makes crops farms versus okay. Richardson said the true bananas. I have bananas in my yard and they have a different taste than a grocery store. Yeah. Yeah. Very different. Sham said bananas we eat today are cloned. They aren't just GMO foods. This is why you can't regrow them. Yep. Gail said they got the plants like they got the people. That's facts. Mr. Richardson said it's like that W cannabis also. What is that? I think what was that supposed to be Monsanto or more so male strains than female strains. Yeah, I got you. Yeah. Like I said, all of this is pretty much planned. You said, and the male strain gives you more so a headache. But yeah, that is pretty much it, guys. That is technically I think that's what I wanted to actually go over. I do have some more videos, but I'll probably put those in a shorter form video for you guys. So again, it'll probably be ranging anywhere in between about like 8 to like maybe 15 minutes, depending on the amount of videos or how much I end up talking to get to the point. So we will have some more videos. So again, shout out to all 71 people, because some people just flew in. Shout out to all 71 people that just rode up to the live stream. Much love, respect, and appreciation. Appreciate you guys a lot. Love you guys a lot. Respect you guys a lot. Thank you for everything that you do, and especially for staying through the commercials. Much love, respect, and appreciation. Also, respect to any and everybody that's donated to the channel as well. And I will catch you guys on the next live stream. Peace out.